Wrong with the intro there, but it just didn't quite fancy it today. Hopefully that's not an indication that Manchester United don't shut up, you've had your minute. Intro, you've had your chance, get off. Still going. Shut up. There you go, get off, you bloody idiot. Anyway, welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus FC Copenhagen, and it is hot. It's very hot. It's going to be hot in Germany, and it's very hot here. So I hope you're all doing very well. Gremlins in the system to start off with there, and hopefully they won't be continuing as the show goes on. But it's hot. Maybe my laptop's hot. You know, hopefully Manchester United are going to be hot. But we are live, and we have got the team news coming in the next couple of minutes because it's European night, and you know what that means? It means that there will be team news. So I'm hoping, look, we will be talking about Jadon Sancho, of course. That is going to feature for a lot of people. But all honestly as well, we got a big game to play tonight. And look, if people are worried that we may have taken an L in relation to this game tonight and what's going to happen, Jadon Sancho and what's going to happen, we certainly don't want to be taking an L in this game today. So we need to get the win, and we need to do it well, and we need to play well, and that's what I'm expecting from Manchester United today. So I'm expecting the team news to be much the same as what it is on the left-hand side. I tell you what, it's going to be a bloody struggle tonight. I can already feel sweat on my back. I've got a sweaty back already. Not. I mean, look. It's just not a night to be sat in front of the bloody telly. Sat in front of studio lights in a darkened room. It's not really what I want to do. But I do want to watch Manchester United play. And I do want to see Manchester United winning. And I'm sure many of you do want to see that as well. So thanks for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. I'll tell you what. I'm doing my best in this heat to not get irritated by certain things, but we're about a minute away from the team news coming in anyway. Just while we're doing that, I'm bored. I'm really bored about people going Sancho deal off who are Manchester United fans. Oh, I'm doing a video about Sancho deal being off. I mean, come on. Is there not an element of you that deserves to not be so bloody sensationalist? Like, we're Manchester United fans. Surely you don't want to be depressing United fans when you don't need to do it. So, starting 11 is out, and bloody hell. He's dropped Matic. Wow. And Lindelof. And De Gea. Well, I am quite surprised by that. He's put Fred in the team with Pogba and Bruno in the midfield, and he's playing Bailly instead of Lindelof and Romero instead of De Gea, which I'm not too surprised by that. I don't think anybody would be surprised that De Gea isn't playing, but I am quite surprised that he's gone with no Matic. That is it looks like the opening scene of Star Wars, says Mark Whitten. It's just notes. And welcome to our latest members, which are Nihal Rao and Zach MTFC. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, it is interesting. It is very interesting indeed as to how he's gone with that lineup today. I'm sweating like I don't know what I'm sweating like. I don't know whether I can do this watch along tonight. I'm so hot already. I can't believe it. I'm cooking. I'm bloody cooking. Anyway, the team is out. I'm going to change the team on the screen. But it's Romero in goal. And it's Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Harry Maguire, Brandon Williams, Fred and Pogba in the midfield. No Matic, no Lindelof, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. So the front four is, the front three obviously, is what you would think. But he has dropped a couple of people. And I say dropped, De Gea over Romero, I would have gone with De Gea. Fred over Matic, that does lead us into what happened the other night a little bit, doesn't it? He obviously saw enough of Fred to think, I've seen enough of you, Fred. You can play in this game ahead of Matic. So well done to Fred for getting a starting place, and I think it's going to be interesting. I presume we're going to see Fred in a. I suppose he wants to play more attacking. That's all I can think. He wants to play a little bit more on the front foot. So fair play to him for that. I'm just changing the screen on the screen, the team on the screen for you now. I'm starting to cool down a little bit now, which is always a nice thing when you're very hot. You look nice, Jackie. Let's change it. Here we go. I've got the nice one. The nice one. Roll on the football. There we go. Just pull it down a little bit. And is that right? Yes, there you go. You've got the right team news on the screen. Scott Bennett says it's all a trick. Next season starts while the transfer window is still open. Even if Sancho plays like twice for Dortmund next season, their chairman isn't lying, says Scott Bennett. Oh yeah, I see what you're doing there. That's not a bad theory. That's not a bad theory. Get into the comments. What do you think about that Manchester United team news then? It is there confirmed on the left-hand side. Matic out of the team for Fred. And Lindelof out of the team for Bailly, and Romero out of the team for Romero into the team for De Gea, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, look, that looks interesting to me. I must admit, there is an element of me that is quite excited to see. It's quite excited to see how this is going to go in relation to the Fred decision. I'm quite excited about that. Whether it's the right decision, I don't know. I'm just going to wind Ricky up a little bit on Twitter. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's have a look what people are saying in the live comments. So, Pumpkin Spice Latte says, thank God we finally see Fred. Matic been below par for so many games at the end of the season. And interesting opinion on that. And I think the team selection is quite astute. It tells me we are looking at a pacier lineup using Fred and Bay, quicker back to front, attack base, says Josh Sutton. I do feel that Lindelof is a little bit unlucky. We will be talking about what Michael Zorg said about Sancho a little bit later on in the show. Got some other updates to bring you as well. Actually got some inside information to bring you as well in a few minutes' time. But interesting WhatsApp message there. But yeah, I mean, look, let's talk about the game in hand. Let's talk about the team news. Guys, keep the heads up about Sancho. Their CAO is a shrewd businessman, says Andrew MC96. He did the same crap with Dembele. He's staying, left a month later. Keep calm. Yeah, it's a good lineup. And it's so hot in Germany, I can't take it anymore, says the husband. I think it's going to be over 30 degrees for them. I'm starting to get cooler now, which is good. But yeah, it's going to be hot out in Germany for Manchester United. So that is the team news on the left-hand side. Let's just talk about that for a minute before we start talking about Sancho. So Romero starts instead of De Gea. Which to me suggests that Romero will probably play all the way till the final again if we get to the final, like he did last time we got to the final. So that's an interesting thing. Bay over Lindelof, I've got to be honest with you. Bay over Lindelof is quite an interesting one. I've got to be honest on that. I'm quite intrigued by that one. Bay over Lindelof. I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has always been quite consistent in relation to the way that he's been with favouring Lindelof over Bay. So look, I don't rate Eric Bay that much. I think for a long time I thought he's got the pace, but I don't rate Eric Bay that much. But it's a big opportunity for him. As for Fred, if you want an honest answer from me, and I've said it before, who I think is a better CDM prospect, Fred or McTominay? I think Fred is. He's more mobile. I think he's better at passing the ball. I think he reads the game better, and he's far more quicker and tenacious. But the trouble with Fred is people target his weak first touch sometimes. Could Mengi end up taking Twansebi's centre-back place as Stephen Willocks? Well, if Twansebi doesn't get fit, he could do. Picking Romero is the right choice. Even if we lose Europa League, it will take the heat off De Gea, says Hamada. And welcome to Danny Clark, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thanks to everyone who is becoming a member of the club, by the way. We don't do Patreon or anything like that, so all your content is free on here. So make sure that you do... if you do become a member, thank you very much. You get a badge next to your name, and you also get access to our emojis, of which we still have Sancho. Now, apparently, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted. In fact, he has. He says, Sancho situation after Zorg words. Manchester United find it unusual that Borussia and Dortmund insist they work through an agent, not through them directly. This has always been a problem of the negotiations. Manchester United are also frustrated at the pace of the discussions. So there you go. It's almost it's as I said, isn't it, with Sancho? There is this. I mean, Simon Stone said that the club thought the price would come down at and that the deadline of today was not a real threat. So it feels like there is a confusion from Manchester United in relation to Jadon Sancho. And Fabrizio Romano has tweeted in the last 60 seconds saying that Manchester United are finding unusual that Borussia Dortmund insist they work through an agent, not through them directly. This has always been a problem of the negotiations, and Manchester United are frustrated at the pace of the discussions. Well, that's a turn up for the books, because, you know, for Manchester United to be frustrated at the pace of the discussions is rather interesting. But I did say this. I said that the next tweet from Fabrizio Romano was going to be key in what the truth of the matter is. And he's also said, Sancho situation, Borussia Dortmund made it very clear by their side they're asking 120 million or Jadon Sancho will not leave this summer. Dortmund are convinced he can stay one more year, as Zorc said today. So, it's interesting, isn't it, now? It is very interesting, because the structure of the deal that was agreed last year now appears to be different. And 120 million euros outright, I just don't think United would pay that, and I just don't think they would. 120 million euros outright is 110 million pounds. I can't see. I don't think I thought before COVID-19, 100 million pounds was what he was worth. So for them to want 120 million euro is not the story that we've been getting. So I don't know. I think it's interesting where that situation is, and there's obviously a lot of frustration and confusion going on. But the positive thing to take away from this is that the deal isn't as dead as Michael Zorg would say, and Fabrizio Romano, who's obviously got word in to the deal, is saying that Manchester United are finding it unusual that Dortmund insist they work through an agent when they'd rather just deal right directly with Dortmund, and this has always been a problem of the negotiations. And I suppose the problem with that is if Manchester United are having to go through an agent who then goes to Dortmund, you never meet together. So if Manchester United are saying, well, look, we want to give you 120 million euros over 3 years, and then the agent says I've agreed the structure of the 120 million, and then Dortmund are saying, well, no, we want most of that money up front, and then you go back to Manchester United and they say, oh, come on, be realistic, you know, it is post COVID-19, we will pay you the money, but can we do it over 3 years? You go back to Dortmund again, no, we don't. You never, and maybe this is the frustration that Fabrizio is talking about, is you never get to get your side across because you've always got this neutral agent in between who's just saying no, 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 no. And I don't know whether you've ever had any problems in your life, but when you're tweeting somebody or texting somebody, it's never the same as actually sitting down with somebody and discussing your issue. So, look, I take what Fabrizio Romano says seriously, and if that's what he's saying, then look, most importantly, talks continue. Fred and Bay used to play in this weather, says Goal Machine, and Tom O'Duff and Danny Clark, latest members of the club, thank you very much. If not Sancho, who will United sign, says John James. I'd rather we didn't get anybody. And Ranabir says, I think you interpret it wrong. Romano says they wanted to add 20 million add-ons, but they want complete instalments. It's the latest 20 million, which is the issue, says Ranabir. Well, let's not forget, Fabrizio Romano is Italian, so we don't know the detail of that. And if the agent has clear directives and Dortmund won't budge on that, it doesn't matter who they negotiate with, says Nicholas Arlison. And hi Mark, great job with the United stand, says Nihal. Long time follower here. I think Fred is a good choice. Regular games will show his feisty box-to-box side. I'm looking forward to seeing Fred tonight. I mean, look, Matic is a very important player for us, but in a game like this, it's an opportunity for Fred. I think he's one of a number of players that since lockdown haven't really grasped their opportunity, of course. I think it's safe to say that McTominay and a few others haven't really been that great since lockdown. So for Fred to start in what is a very important game, and I think it's going to be very interesting. Sankir says 120 million euros is actually too much for Sancho. You know what? I think you're right. I think 120 million euros is too much as a down payment, but I think if it's in instalments, it's fine. I'm really interested in how Fred does at CDM, says B. Yakov. We haven't seen him play the holding role. He's always been next to someone in a 4-2-3-1. Well, is he going to play the holding role? I've set it up like that on the screen, but will he actually play the holding role? I hope next time we should learn our lesson about United doing deals with speed. We need to do this deal fast as we need more than attacking options, says Red Baron. Of course, if Manchester United did end up paying close to £100 million for Jadon Sancho, I wouldn't expect us to be spending anything else. And remove the add-ons and just give them an instalment. Sancho will get his money back with his performance, says Caplion. And the Sancho deal is off, says Brew. Man, based on what? You know, you're basing it on absolutely nothing. So, yeah, I'd steer clear of idiot comments like that, to be honest with you. But you know, it's all about opinion, even when some of them are absolutely thick. Mark, you know, Ball. Apparently, Fred isn't good. Never has been good enough. Never will be good enough. Says same with Williams. Says Joshua Harper. Straight in there, Joshua. Don't beat about the bush. And do you think we take too long to get the deals done because they want to build up interest in the bank and hang on to the money for far too long? That's why we lose these deals sometimes. Pay it up or get it done, says United till I die. I don't know. I think that's all speculative, isn't it? Negotiating just to buy a house with estate agents and solicitors can take weeks. Never mind negotiations for a high-level young athlete, says Scott Bennett. And 90 million euros now, and then the rest add on. I agree. I think that's certainly what I would be looking at doing if I was Manchester United. So we have had a Fabrizio Romano tweet. Fabrizio Romano has just actually tweeted again and says, I don't know whether United are going to pay the money that's needed. But what he has said is that United are finding it unusual that Dortmund insists they work through an agent, not through them, and this has always been a problem of the negotiations, and it's slowed it down and frustrated the process. And Dortmund have made it very clear they're asking 120 million without add-ons, or Jadon Sancho will not leave this summer. Dortmund are convinced he can stay for 1 year. And when I read that back again, I am, the person who said it in the live comments is right. This is not 120 million euros outright. This is 120 million euros without add-ons. Add-ons are, we will give you 90 million and we will give you another 30 million if he wins the Ballon d'Or. That is probably what United are looking at. So I think what Dortmund want is 120 million in instalments. So as we know, as we said last night, I mean, look, nothing's changed, has it? When I read that Romano tweet again, nothing has actually changed. The situation being that Dortmund want 120 million euros. They are happy to do it in instalments, which would mean United could pay 80, 20, 20, or 70, 30, 20 over the next 3 years, which I think is very, very reasonable. But United probably don't want to do instalments and they want to do add-ons, which, to be honest with you, I get why United would want to do add-ons, because if Sancho doesn't score the goals, you don't pay the instalments. But look, if you want to get the deal done, Dortmund are notoriously difficult to deal with. You should expect that to be the case at the end of the day. McTominay, Messi or Ronaldo? Messi with no shadow of a doubt. I've never been a football player like it in my life. He's absolutely ridiculous. I played against him and you try to rough him up, get close. It's so difficult. Oh, that's just a quote from Scott McTominay. I actually thought it was going to be something to do with Jadon Sancho for a moment, but it's not. Cave, who is a Sky reporter, says the situation hasn't changed as far as United are concerned. The reason United have not been in direct contact with Dortmund is that Dortmund have insisted that United deal with an agent. Fair to say some frustration on United's part. Sancho wages, ages, and agent fees continue to be a problem, which is what Fabrizio said isn't a problem. So I think Paul Hurst, who is a journalist for Times, he's saying that United haven't given up on hope of signing Jadon Sancho despite Michael Zorg's words today. Transfer window is still open for 2 months, so plenty of time left to negotiate in their eyes. He is now probably the third or fourth journalist I've seen based in the UK saying that United feel there's plenty of time to do this deal. So that is starting to sound like an official line from the club. I don't know whether that is the case or not, but it's certainly starting to look like that. It looks like Dortmund don't need the money. Is this COVID time? Says Per Erik Klassen. And Martin Hulberg, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you. And let's have a look what people are saying in the comments, by the way. Lots going on. It's gonna. I said this before. I said this afternoon when I reacted to Michael Zorg's words that throughout this evening and tonight we're going to get update after update after update, and you've just got to sort of cut through the crap and the truth. And I think it's very. I've not even had time. I mean, I have had a WhatsApp. Let's have a look. You see, this says nothing's changed. The deal is expected to be announced and it could happen at any time. So, I mean, I'm obviously not going to tell you who that's from, but that's that. Fabrizio is saying what he said last week about the structure of the deal, and United have got to pay it if they want to buy him. The British press are saying that the transfer window is open for 2 months and United are still confident that they can get him. So all these people at 4 o'clock who are like trying to get in our mentions, trying to wind us up, saying you're not going to get him. How great will it be if we do get him for all those prats? Because I tell you what, it does show they're desperate for us not to get him, and it's going to be great fun if we do. But look, the main thing is that we do get him and we get the player that we want. And I think we've just got to be a little bit patient about that. welcome to Mihir, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for tuning in, mates. And if we don't get Sancho before our pre-season, Edward Wood is a prat, says Thomas Hamar. We are only 50 subscribers away from 780. 790, sorry. 790,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Thank you very much. What's the betting odds saying, says Jack Cassane. Oh, the betting odds have gone a long time ago. I think they closed the betting on Jadon Sancho a long time ago. So I don't think that we can get anything there. Simon Peach, credible journalist, says Man United still looking to sign Jadon Sancho despite Dortmund's comments today. Suspect this is going to run and run. I just got to put a tweet out there. So yeah, it's funny how, as I said, these things, when you've done it for a long time, and I know a lot of you have watched the channel for a long time, please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. But when you've done this for a long time, Ricky's very surprised that Matic is not in the team. When you've done this for a long time, you can sort of see what's going to happen. And I think Michael Zorg's come out and basically, he's going to stay at United. And then you've got United now coming out, or British journalists who are credible coming out, said that United still feel that this deal can be done. So it's definitely taking the progress that we would thought. Jacob says, any update on Jimenez? Yeah, we were never getting him in the first place, as I said 2 weeks ago. Man United, Jacob Riff says, Simon Peach, United are still looking to sign Jadon Sancho despite Dortmund's comments today. Suspect it's going to run and run. I did say that this afternoon, didn't I? Even if you want to believe what Michael Zorg said, this is going to run and run and run because there's 2 months left of the transfer window. I don't think the Sancho deal will be happening, to be honest, says Andreas Lund. I think it's more important to strengthen our defence. Don't you, Mark? No. I think Jadon Sancho is a statement signing. I think it shows an intent to be one of the best teams in the world again. Prolonged transfer saga time and again. More eyeballs, more social media mentions, says 28 Div E. I think Man United, for getting better deal, might wait on Sancho to shout I want out. So maybe we get him next transfer window, similar to Bruno. I don't think we can wait that long, Stanislav. Welcome to Sarvish Right, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Mark, don't we get money back from a Zaha sale? So can't that offset some of the cost of Sancho, says David Garron. Yeah, I mean, but look, Jadon Sancho's got to be sold first. Yeah. What if Fabrizio is wrong? Do your research on Fabrizio. I mean, look, the information he gets is pretty darn good. Rashford t-shirt on tonight, by the way. If you want to get a t-shirt, we do ship worldwide. I know Australia had a problem before, but we are now shipping to Australia. So please do. They're below the video now. You can get them actually directly through YouTube if you want to get yourself a t-shirt. I think we might be getting a bit of thunder around here because me TV is dropping in and out, which is great. Not tonight. Not tonight. Please, not tonight. I knew it. You don't get this problem with cable. Joshua says, so is Sancho still on? I would go with yes. No satellite signal now. You absolute tosser. Bloody thunder, come on. You know, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't. Sky TV won't work with bloody thunder. Come on. Scholes and Owen Hargraves on BT Sport said that they are confident Sancho will be a Man United player this season, says Mo Ali. Yeah, I agree. And welcome to Sarvesh Rayot, latest member of the United Stand Members Club, which we've already done. Let me just see if we can get this going. Be nice to get Flex on, see what he thinks about the team, and also what he thinks about Sancho. He did message me earlier saying that he's concerned about it and feels that it might not happen, which is interesting, isn't it? Because I'm not. I've always been totally confident that it will happen. So let's see. I've sort of lost track of time a little bit, but let's get him on. Evening Flex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. So first of all, let's talk about the team news. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, a couple interesting eyebrow raisers there. The Fred one, definitely. I thought Matic would have just come back into there seamlessly. Good opportunity for Fred to show that he can, he can fill a void and that he's not done with in that position, as some people think he might be. So that's good to see. I like the fact that Romero keeps his position. For me, I like that. I think it's a bit of a disrespect to him, to kind of just fling him out here. I hope obviously we go through tonight. Hope he keeps his place throughout the whole thing. It'd be even worse if he dashes him out for the semis and the final. So yeah, hopefully Romero keeps his spot. No two surprises there, but the Lindelof Bailly one I thought was very interesting as well, because I don't know. I just feel like Ollie's got that centre back pairing sorted out. He wasn't really looking to change it. He hasn't changed it much this season. Whenever Lindelof's been fit, he plays. So it could just be a one-off, or I don't know. Maybe Lindelof didn't look sharp in training. We'll see what Ollie says, but. Other than that, though, man, those three changes that he's made, they're not massive. We've got our front three that we need. We've got Bruno and Pogba in there. It's we've got the big guns out, so I'm not envisaging seeing an upset, to be honest.
No, I mean Fred. Ricky is suddenly surprised that Fred's been dropped for Matic. I must admit, I am surprised. I think Matic is a very important player. Thought he played well in the second half against Leicester. Misses out. What do you think that's all about?
It's weird. I don't know why, because it's not like they haven't had a long enough rest. Obviously, Matic didn't play against Lask, so you're thinking, yeah, that's about right. The only thing I do think is maybe that it's actually, when we say with Ollie, sometimes you don't need to go as defensive against certain sides, and you can quicken up the play. Maybe the way in the Matic and gets about the pitch a bit more. He might just be thinking he wants that increased tempo. He thinks we're going to be quite dominant. It'd be interesting to see if Fred's in the pivot with Bruno and Pogba playing slightly more advanced, or should I say Pogba playing more advanced, or whether he is just playing next to Pogba and Pogba's just as deep as he has been playing. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a slight tactical switch up with how the centre mids are lining up. He might just, you listen to the Copenhagen manager, and no offence, but he's basically saying we haven't really got much of a chance unless Man United don't show up. And that's a quarter-final of a European Cup, of a European trophy. So it shows you, the level of competition. You can't be too disrespectful, but maybe Ollie's looking at it like, you know what? I actually do want to go for the throw. I want to be quick and at it from the start. And I'm sure, look, if Fred doesn't pull his weight and looks a bit suspect, Matic will be straight in very early on. But I think it's just really interesting to see, because not a lot of us thought about it, and we'll have to just see.
Yeah, the game itself, it's a massive game. It puts you into the quarterfinals. Inter Milan are playing Bayer Leverkusen, which I'm going to be keeping an eye on as well during the game. But, that just shows you the enormity of this tournament. Obviously, Wolves play Sevilla tomorrow night. It's an opportunity to play in the semi-final on Sunday. We're the favourites to win this tournament. But it is somewhat overshadowed by by this Jadon Sancho scenario, which is, what's your take on that at the moment?
I don't know, man. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, isn't it? Really, like at the beginning, we're all thinking, what some of these journalists are putting out is fake, and we've spoken to a few journalists that we know, and you look at Romano and you think, look, it's fine, we're still in for him. It's just it's just posturing and bluffing and poker faces. But when you see the sporting director come out and say he's staying, it's final, and actually we had an extra year on his contract that you didn't even know about, so we're even more relaxed than you guys thought. It just made me. I'm not gonna lie. At that time, I thought, nah, I don't see it. I know the club don't want to pay 120 million up front, etc., and they do want to do instalments. And we have heard this about the club not wanting to be held to ransom, and I was just like, nah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. But then you see Simon Peake's tweet. Then you see Fabrizio saying basically it's as you were. So I see a lot of people moaning about the mic. Let me just take my headphones out because I don't know if it's a bad line. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all right, yeah. Let me just read some super chats while that's going on. Nice feedback. says Josh Sutton. Farhan Ahmed, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Also, Edward would want to risk losing Sancho because it would be the third consecutive transfer to fall through, says Angie S. And Yakov says, hi, hypothetically, based on what United need the most, which would you take? Only Sancho this window, or Van der Beek, Torres and Traore, for example? Heart goes to Sancho, head goes to squad depth. I mean, look, it's an interesting argument, Yakov, but to me, I would go for Sancho. I think it's a really important signing. Glazers out is trending again. I mean, look, you know what? I was speaking to Drawty before the show, and he was saying, look, we don't know what's going on. I mean, everyone's reacting to this Michael Zorc, who in the past has, been quite inaccurate in what he's saying, playing the game, obviously. And, we don't know that United are in the wrong in this situation. I mean, ultimately, United just need to deliver Jadon Sancho. If they don't, then, maybe there will be a relevancy to the moaning. Welcome to Ian Richardson and to Farhan Ahmed, latest members of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate that. Are you still here, Flex?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just took the mic out. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. It's thunder and lightning here, so my Sky TV keeps dropping out. Love from India, the United Stand, says Mihir. Well, apparently we've got a whole evening of it, so... I mean, look. As long as we're streaming, okay, which will be fine because that's underground. It's the overground Sky dish that worries me a little bit. But talk to me about Sancho. Then you're concerned about it, even though I'm sat here very confident.
Yeah, do you know what it is? Yeah, I know there's some people in the club or whatever that might be like, listen, we're fine, and you might listen to like Fabrizio Romano saying it's okay. The reason why I'm just getting a bit worried is the fact that we've said so many times we're not going to be looking to spend that amount of money, we're not going to get bullied. And I know it is about posturing, but if they do go, and I mean Borussia Dortmund, we're not really on this whole installments thing. We just want our money and we want it now. Or we're just happy to keep him. It's on you. Do I trust the club, or do I think the club are just going to go, oh, okay, here's the 120 million. I know it can happen in transfers, but I'm just very skeptical, especially with how it is now with post-COVID situation. It just worries me. I definitely don't think the deal is dead. And we are hearing that. We are hearing it from credible sources while we've been live on there. The deal is not dead, even though Zorc said that's final. Do you know what I mean? So I don't expect him to say, we're still talking and we'll update you next week. They are going to say that he's there at the training ground. At the training camp with Dortmund. I understand that, but I don't think the deal's dead, but I just am worried in terms of, will Manchester United reach a point where they're like, you know what, we're trying to talk to Dortmund, they're being difficult to deal with, we've got to go through this agent, they're not budging on the instalments, we have to look elsewhere. And I'm not actually confident, like I tweeted earlier, what our third options would be. You'd like to think we'd have it, but I think we're so set on Sancho, and rightly so, because this is the deal that we really do need. I heard you say you'd rather not get anyone than waste money. But do they even have other options? So it's almost like all the eggs are in this basket.
It's interesting because Manchester Evening News are now saying that sources claim Jadon Sancho's wage demands and the agent fees continue to be an obstacle. United are determined not to repeat mistakes of the past in overpaying the agent, and this was something that we heard a couple of days ago, and it's a new development around the deal because obviously Fabrizio Romano has said that the deal, the personal terms are not an issue. So I think what we're getting from this tonight, and it's not what people want to hear, is that Manchester United are looking to play the longer game with this deal. We keep hearing, I mean, Simon Peach said it as well, that the transfer window is open for a couple of months, and I've also seen people say that the problem with this is probably not that we won't get him in the end. I think we will get him, but there won't be a lot of time for doing other business, selling Jesse Lingard, buying a centre back. So I mean that is a frustration in itself that we just don't seem to be able to get deals done quick.
We get him right, Mark. Especially for that price where we have to pay the money, all of it. I don't think we make another signing unless it's like a mad loan or something like that, or a young player for like 10 million that's just for squad. I can't see us getting a noticeable signing, a significant signing, should I say, if we have to pay that money all in one go. If we do, the club's done brilliant, because I can't see us spending, what's that, £110 million, is it? 120 million euros, roughly, within 9, something like that. If we have to fork that out on Jadon Sancho up front to just go for it, I can't see how we buy a proper centre half for 30, 40 million pounds, a proper attacking midfielder for 30, 40, 50 million. I just can't see it. If we spend that money on Sancho, forget it till January or at least the whole year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, I've just had 3 more people in the British press saying that United are now saying, frustrated by Sancho's wage demand and his agent fees, which to me is weird because, Fabrizio himself has said that's not the case, and it feels again like it's another briefing from the club, and it's weird why you'd want to put that onto Sancho. It's almost like moving the deal away from Dortmund being the issue to Sancho being the deal, and that could be a little bit concerning because why would Manchester United want to do that?
Are they saying they're frustrated with Sancho, or are they saying that they're frustrated more so that at the dealings of Dortmund, i.e. Zorg, i.e. Having to go through an agent? Isn't that what they're saying?
No. It quite clearly says that United's still not giving up on signing Sancho, but getting frustrated with Dortmund and players' reps over fee and wages. Dortmund are in there as well, definitely. Yeah.
Players' reps is mentioned as well. So yes, it's interesting. I mean, you see how these agents live so nice off these footballers. Ask Angel Gomez's agent. He signed a 5-year deal at Lille, loan to Bavista. Like, it just shows you how nice these agents live and how much money they get off these players. And it's such a big deal, as in the size of the transfer. It's you could imagine that the agent eating really nicely off it. So yeah, I just think it feeds back to what we were saying. Is like this type of deal. This is like the biggest transfer it's going to be for a British player, isn't it? It's going to be that, especially and for a teenager. No, not a teenager, like João Felix, isn't it? But do you know what I mean? It's going to be the biggest record transfer. Man United are going to break their transfer budget, so it's going to be more than Pogba deal. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Thanks for the super chat, Liam S. Welcome to the members club, Leslie Finnan. All this focus on Sancho, says Streaming with Alex. We forget that the only other deals are those for players leaving. The club directors are failing this club. I don't want to see Fellaini panic buys just to get a player. And welcome to Joseph, latest member of the United Stand members club, and Harry Falco. Liverpool have made another signing and we still have nothing, says Samuel. And do you reckon we're holding back just in case we get knocked out of Europa so they can bounce back to the fans to bring the fan base up, says Ollie. I don't think so. I'm just going to pop and do something for a minute, Flex, actually, if you don't mind holding the fort. But what's your score prediction and how do you think the game's going to go?
I've gone with a 3-1 today, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking at home. I've gone with a 3-1. I think that press conference from the Copenhagen manager showed us a lot, to be honest. I mean, yes, you got to respect your opponents and you got to earn the right to play, etc., etc. But if you listen to him, guys, he was basically saying we need luck on our side. We need Manchester United to be basically awful and not firing on all cylinders, to quote. And for me, that says a lot. Quarterfinal of the Europa League, and their manager basically being quite defeatist. But he's obviously probably being realistic as well. I don't know much about Copenhagen. I'm not going to claim that I watched it or don't, but everyone's gut feeling is we should have enough to beat Copenhagen. And even that's why I was like, even before the last game, which obviously after it we realised that we can't make that many changes, but even if we was to bring in the Dan Jameses or the Pereiras or the Lingards or Igalo up front or whatever, it's like the McTominays, the Freds, we should still be able to beat Copenhagen, guys. We're Manchester United, do you know what I mean? So the fact that we've even had to bring the big guns back in, I understand it because we've got no room for error and there's 3 games away from a trophy. But for me, I think we play well. The players are rested as well. You look at the big ones, the elites as you want to call them. They've been rested since the Leicester game, comfortably rested. So they've had like nearly over 2 weeks off now. So they're ready to go. 3 games in quick succession. I don't think we'll see that lethargicness, that slow, kind of gassed out look that we had from them after the sort of first 3 or 4 games from lockdown. For me, a lot of people saying 4-1 in the comments, 3-1, 4-1, a couple of 2-0s there, 3-0s. Yeah, not loads of people saying a clean sheet. I'm not really seeing a lot of that. Interesting with that. Couple of super chats here. Liam S says, what is your and Flex thoughts on Sarri being booted despite winning the league? Big club mentality. It's not enough. Juventus always win the league out there. So for me, I don't really see that as a surprise. You can't go out in the round of 16 to Lyon over 2 legs as Juventus manager. It's just not good enough. Joshua Harper says, do we really think United are going to pay 120 million in the middle of a pandemic, 10 days into a transfer window? You all mad or what? Well, only time will tell. You'd think that wouldn't happen, but now it's been set out there by Dortmund with them saying, "Boy, if you don't pay it, you ain't getting him." Simple as that. So yeah. Joshua says, "Big up Mark and Flex. What's your preferred lineup and system to play?" Anthony French Driller Martial. God bless Man United. We need it. Well, in terms of today's game, I think the system he's gone with is fine. 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. I don't mind, but I would like to see Pogba just a little bit more advanced, especially if we're going to dominate against the likes of Copenhagen. I mean, Mark's got it set up there with Pogba slightly ahead of Fred. I would like to see that, like a 4-1-2-3. Definitely let Fred just sit there, tell Pogba go and get involved. Because if we're dominating and we've got Copenhagen on the back foot, you don't need Pogba and Fred in there, which would fall into Matic not actually having to start, which shows me maybe the type of game that he wants to go with. What are you saying, Goldbridge? You back from the number 2? I can hear you rummaging around.
No, I was. I can't believe how Thunder. We don't get Thunder much here. Impacts on your bloody Sky thing.
Yeah, it goes straight away. I'm all right down there. Blue skies, hot, no breeze.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the forecast there. It's it's meant to be for the next 3 hours, so it might be intermittent. But Dortmund of the player, they always have the advantage. I still think this will get done. United must show they want to improve the squad to close the gap in order to keep our good players, says Andrew Rossi. And a shout out for Man United, FC in IND, Manchester United India on Twitter. It's an attempt to bring focus to football in India through the love of Manchester United, says Danielle. There you go. And Stephen says, "Hi guys, great show. Do you think Sancho can play Bruno's position in games that we need to rest Bruno?" Well, we've got to have to sign him first, Stephen. That's what's going to happen first. So, but look, yeah, I think Sancho could play as an attacking midfielder. Yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah.
It's a 4-3-3, says Hader official. I don't do these arguments about formations before a game ball's been kicked. We'll see how it goes with that. It's roasting here under Thunder. It says that it's very hot. And Fabrizio has removed his pinned tweet, says Keep Crying For Me. I don't know what his pinned tweet was. And do you think today's events will affect Manchester United performance, says Jagre. What's today's events? And Red Baron says, "I love thunderstorms. Don't know what you think, Flex. It's calming and peaceful. Not when it's ruining your bloody TV, Red Baron.
It's not. The window, lying in bed or whatever, and you can just hear the rain crashing against the window and the thunder going, see the flashes of lightning. Yeah, it's actually all right if you're chilling, but not when you're out of it, and not when it's obviously stopped your BT from working."
And Copenhagen are actually not bad. Saw their last game; they could trouble us. Hopefully, we bury them early by scoring early. And I bought, that was from John Prashadam, and I bought a Martial and Greenwood t-shirt, says Jordan Vlogs. Yeah, if you want to get your t-shirts, they're underneath the videos these days. Thank you for that. And Liverpool have signed a left back. Well, you can't compare yourselves to anybody else, but as I said earlier, Flex, if United didn't get Sancho, and then you've got Chelsea getting Havertz and Werner, and they're probably going to get a couple of other players as well, it doesn't reflect well on United. And I think that for me has always been one of the reasons I think that they will get this deal done, because they've worked so hard on their PR over the last few months. To destroy it on another bad transfer window will not go down well.
No, it won't. He's such a key target, and that's another reason as to why I'm worried, because I'm like, also I don't know if I trust the club at this second if the Sancho deal falls through, because I don't think they've got. I think we'll be then scraping around deadline day, deadline week, trying to find those types of players, and we rush into it. We talk about this long plan with Ollie and a right vision and the criteria of players. I think I'm with you there, Mark. If we don't get Sancho, I'm not saying just go out and get anybody. You look what Liverpool done with Van Dijk. They couldn't get him. Then they got done for tapping up. Then they called off. Then they went back in January and got the player that they wanted. I think they did the same with Oxlade. I think at the time they waited. But what I'm saying is that if it doesn't happen, don't go wasting money and throwing good money after bad. Wait for the right time. Almost, I want to say it was deliberate with Bruno, but we kind of know it wasn't. But kind of what they did with Bruno, they didn't get him in the summer for whatever reason, and come back in January. But I don't see Sancho going in January. If he doesn't come now, it'll have to be a whole nother year, which, we kind of do have enough up front, but not if someone gets injured, which we already know. So yeah, we've got to try and get him. I think they can't let the fans down as well.
Buster Nut says add-ons and installments are different. Please explain to all the people in the chat. Even Flex said 120 in all one go. That has been said by anyone. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm confident we'll sign Jaden and win the Europa League. Let's focus on the positive and get a nice win today. Who do you think will play in the Super Cup? Says Craig Callamy. Again, we've got to get there first. Probably Man City or Bayern though. Winning Europa gives us approximately 20 million more to spend, says Sarab. Look, we do need to go and win the game. And welcome to Cale Gilligan, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Joshua Harper says, do we really think United were going to pay 120 million? Its biggest signing in its history, 10 days into a transfer window. Are you all mad or what? Well, just going back to what was said before about what our... thank you, Renate. What was said before about add-ons on instalments. So... Manchester United won't pay 120 million outright for Jadon Sancho. What Dortmund want is a 3-year plan in instalments. So might be 70, 30, 20, might be 90, 10, 20, 10. But that's what Dortmund want, 120 million euros, and that they'll take it in instalments, which to me I think is fair. Add-ons, which may be what United want, will give you 80 million euro, and then if he scores so many goals, we'll give you another 10. If he gets Ballon d'Or, we'll give you another 10. If we win the Premier League, we'll give you another 20. So it's very, very different, and you can understand why Dortmund would be saying, "Screw your add-ons, we want instalments." So that's how that works. 24,000 people watching before kickoff is fantastic. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We've already been live twice today with the reaction to the Sancho news, and we will obviously be continuing to do that. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We'll have match reaction and fan cams after the game with Flex and the lads, and maybe the ladies. I don't know whether Sophie's on tonight. And we'll be obviously live all the way through the game as well. Hopefully this is all a big stunt to get more PR mileage out of the transfer. Perhaps benefits both clubs, says Krish. I mean, just on that, Flex, if paint a picture of a scenario where United don't get Sancho. What would that world look like for Manchester United? Because we'd have to just get on with it. But I think there would be a lot of frustration and anger at being so close.
Huge frustration, huge anger, huge disappointment. You could argue that it's our own fault for getting gassed up over a player that we hadn't signed yet. You know, there's always that. You know, when you're in a transfer window and players come, we always say, never truly celebrate until you see the player sitting in the shirt holding it up with the pen in the hand. But if it does happen, it does go back to that kind of old school saying, like, Sancho can't, as important as he can be for us, he can't single-handedly decide whether we're going to kick on to the next level or not. Because that's why we've got to have the infrastructure in place, which sometimes we don't have that much faith in because of the lack of leadership in it, or the lack of director of football, or whatever you want to say. But really, if this was another team and they didn't get their target, you would potentially say, I'll tell you what, we get scouted again. And you can't say to me that Jadon Sancho is the only person in the world that can improve us. He is definitely up there, 100%, and we do need him. But I think it's a sad state of affairs if, our scouts don't, it's not our job. It's not your job as Mark Goldbridge or mine as Flex or whoever it is, as presenters, as Manchester United fans, to have all these names on paper, because you'll get people go, well, who then? Guess what? I'm not a football scout. I haven't been sent to Europe or sent to Brazil or whatever to find the latest talent. But people who are on tens of thousands of pounds at Manchester United are. So if all of our eggs are in the Sancho basket and we have nothing else, I think it says more about us as a club than it does about anything else, because that's embarrassing. If the Sancho deal doesn't happen and we can't get anyone and we don't know where to turn and we can't kick on, it just shows that, we know that Sancho's the best thing. You don't need to be a scout for that. Pay one of us to do it then. Do you know what I mean? So they've got to earn their money, but it will be a tough place. But you're right, we'll have to get on with it. And if we don't get any injuries, we'd still score a hell of a lot of goals next year. But we know we need that depth, because the likeliness is someone will get injured or someone will be out of faith, out of form. So yeah, it's going to be tough to take. but it shouldn't be the end of the United progress. They should have a contingency in place, or just firm it out until January, or put an agreement in for next year.
Another new tweet. This is going to be the case. I think we'll probably, hopefully we won't get many during the game. I think hopefully this is just the British press coming out. But look, United don't like this. I don't know whether United are watching this. Sometimes they are, but they don't like this when this is said. But to me, I can only give an honest opinion, and I would say it to them if they were speaking to me. This definitely feels like a Manchester United press briefing now. There are so many people coming out with the same thing. People I know have got good connections with the club. Manchester Evening News, Simon Peach, Simon Stone, James Ducker is now saying that Manchester United have become frustrated by the slow pace of the discussions for Jadon Sancho. Dortmund are refusing to budge from their 120 million valuation, and crucially, they want a much larger upfront fee than United are currently willing to offer. And this, to me, gives me confidence in what we said last Tuesday night. That personal terms with the player have been agreed, and that the structure of the deal has been agreed. But the issue, the outstanding, almost touch it, crossing the I's and dotting the T's, is the first payment. And that is what that is from James Ducker. And that, to me, is the biggest problem of all, is that Manchester United don't want to pay a large upfront fee. And that's the problem. We're not paying 120 million euros. We're not paying 120 million euros. This has already been agreed that it will be structured over 3 years, which I think is a big give me from Dortmund. Actually, they could just say 120 million euros or you're not having him. They've not said that. They've said 120 million over 3 years. But the issue,
saying
what?
They're not. So they're not saying 120 million euros now or see you later. They are still saying over 3 years. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's always been that. It's always been structured. But the issue is, Dortmund maybe want 90 million euros now, and United maybe just want to pay 70 million euros now. So it's quite a big difference. And I would side more on Dortmund for this. I think, ultimately, you're going to end up paying this at some point. I understand why United want to get it down, but this is why, to me, I don't think it's a problem, because the structure of the deal is already agreed. It's just about how much we're going to pay first payment, and to me, that's why I say it's so close to being done, because you're not arguing about the total, you're not arguing about the player terms, you're just arguing about how much you're going to pay on the first instalment. So I just don't think it's going to be a problem. And as Anthony says, Fabrizio says that Dortmund are working through an agent and not directly with United, and that's causing a delay, which it will do. So I'm still very, very confident. Welcome to Stephen Hanna, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. But you're clearly not as confident, Flex.
I'm just a bit wary. Yeah, I think to give you a simple answer, no, I'm not as confident. I'm not going to sit and lie. I still think we are in negotiations. I will stress that I don't think the deal's dead. I don't think because the supporting director of Dortmund has said that it's done. I know he's added that extra bit and that's final, didn't he? Sort of said he's our player or whatever, and that's final. It's not final. There's definitely more conversations to be had. I just think that Manchester United may get to a point where they go, they're just wanting too much, and we're not prepared to give it to them right now. We'll wait a year, get our money up, sell some players. I know
we won't get him in a year though.
Exactly, I can't see it.
It's now or never, If they're going to wait a year, even if look, prime example here, because somebody in the live comments will quite rightly say, well, look, if Sancho wants to come to United, he'll want to come to United in a year. Well, there's a very, very recent example of how wrong that can go. Griezmann was signing for Manchester United, like literally going to sign for United. Atletico Madrid got a transfer ban and he decided to stay. The next year, he didn't want to come to United anymore. He ended up Barcelona, didn't he? So timing's everything. And I wouldn't be comfortable with United waiting a year.
No, neither would I. Because, like you said, the chances of getting him are not going to be strong. He might his head might get turned. He could get more money elsewhere. And like you're saying now, we're in a one-horse race. Do you know what I mean? We've only got to go up against or agree in terms with Dortmund, which is obviously proven difficult. So, yeah, if it is now or never. If we don't get him now, we'll probably have to move on, because I can't see it happening in January. With how shrewd Dortmund have been, I can't see them just easing up in January or easing up next year. And especially this, 2023 contract, they kind of just drop that into there, almost like a power play, like to say, you know, you all think he's got 2 years left. The next year he'll only have 1 year, so we got to sell him now. But I'll tell you what, we adjusted his wages. We extended him by a year, which we didn't make common knowledge. Hence why they're so relaxed. What I'm saying is their bluff looks better than our bluff right now, because they've got what we really need and they know how desperate we are for this player at this particular time in this transfer window. Their bluff is stronger. That's what it looks like to me. And I think there's going to come a point where Manchester United would have to put the cards on the table and go, yeah, okay, we were lying. We were always going to pay that sort of money. Here it is. And that's what I'm not 100% sure they will do.
Just on relation to the team news, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said that Romero is in good form. He's played really well on Wednesday, and I didn't see any need to change it.
There you go. I think that's right. I would like to have actually seen this energy for certain games in the Premier League when De Gea wasn't at it. He's shown that, you know, he can put him in when he deserves it, when Romero deserves it. But it seems more like I think he's just accepting that he is the Europa League keeper. But it's nice to see. I think that Romero, like the last time, I think he should keep his place the whole way through. He deserves that at least.
A further tweet from James Ducker, which is quite interesting actually. He says that contrary to claims, personal terms agreed, Sancho's demands and agents' fees remain another obstacle. Having just removed Alexis Sanchez's mega salary from the wage bill, there's no interest in repeating past mistakes. Sancho won't be getting a bigger salary than Rashford. Now, that to me, if that's a press briefing from Manchester United, that's bloody ridiculous. And I do worry about that one, because what they're trying to do there is they're trying to get this thing I was on about this morning, this chest-beating thing. Ooh, go on United, don't be held to ransom. And I just think it's a flawed argument. I mean, because if that is a press briefing from the club, which, to be honest, the stupidity would suggest that it possibly could be, why is Alexis Sanchez, a 29-year-old player, wages being compared to a 20-year-old who's a future world star? For one, there's a 9-year difference, you know. The second thing is, this player is going to be our biggest signing ever. Why would United sit down in negotiations and go, you're not getting any more than Rashford, who, as good as Rashford is, he's not Jadon Sancho good, and he's not proven to be Jadon Sancho good. So I think that that's a bit silly, in my opinion. I think Jadon Sancho wages and United's stance that you're not getting any more than Rashford, we're not making the same mistake as Sanchez, they're worlds apart. Sancho is going to break our world record and should be on better wages than Rashford. He's got every right to demand them. And to compare them to Sanchez's wages, which was one of the biggest mistakes we made ever, is not a fair reflection on Sancho.
No, I think they got burnt so badly by giving Sanchez 450 grand a week or whatever the hell it was. I can see why, as a club, they will go, right, whoever we sign from now on, we need to think very carefully where they fit into the wage structure for sure. But to compare it directly to Rashford, why is it not being compared directly to Martial then? Why is it not being compared? You know, why is it not to De Gea? He's just signed for 300 grand a week, is it? Something like that?
That's the ridiculous thing, isn't it? Only a year ago, we gave De Gea 300k a week. So what are you going to say, Sancho? You're not going to be on his wages for a goalkeeper.
Exactly. It doesn't go like that. And you could even bring Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba probably sells the most shirts still out of all of them. I dare say, along with a Rashford, but and a Martial. But I just don't think it should be. It's a bit weird that what you read out there was basically in comparison with only Rashford. So if that has come from within, I'll be quite disappointed with that. I don't know why they're just choosing him. I think I
think they're just trying. You know what they're trying to do? Because PR works both ways. If this deal did crash down, let's start trying to get sympathy with the fans as to why we've walked away from it. And that was my concern. Whilst we've been live on this show, we're starting to hear about wage demands and agent fees, and they know that with Riola, some fans, myself included, have moaned about agent fees. But the only reason you would start putting information about wages and agent fees is to try and get the fans on side, so that you get this stupidity of chest beating, saying, well, we won't be held to ransom. Why does anybody care about being held to ransom? Because any money saved goes out in dividends to the Glazers anyway. So to be honest with you, I'd rather it went in Sancho's pocket than their pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Why aren't we
Yeah.
thinking of money Sancho t-shirt sales will bring in, says Kanshki? Well, they'll have to be factoring that in. Have you seen the video of Ollie signalling to Matic Dortmund want more money than he says? Tuesday, more money, says Kerry. Have you seen that, Flex?
Seen what?
Have you seen that video of Ollie where people were lip reading this morning?
Yeah, I have. I had people messaging me on Twitter. I had people DMing me on Instagram saying, "Flex, what do you think? And is there anything in this? Have you heard?" And I was like, "Look, I'm not going to be that fan in it. That's like, oh, I looked at the flight times and I saw that Sancho was here. Oh, Sancho.
He got into London. I tell you what, I was stunned that Sancho got into London at the weekend without anybody bloody knowing about it.
Yeah, these players, mate. They got blacked out. Big Mercedes vans or whatever get driven around. He went to his, a friend's house party, and I think it comes down to like a understanding of like Sancho's culture and where he's coming from. Like, he's a young kid from South London, and his story is amazing, but he is still just a normal, regular kid. And he's just gone back to his friend's house, and the fact that they're drinking out of red cups has nothing. I saw someone literally tweet, "Oh, drinking out of a red cup. What a coincidence I see." Like, it's just getting ridiculous. Someone even literally said to me a couple of weeks ago, "Flex, I saw that Sancho is going on holiday and his flight's getting into Luton Airport. You should go up there." I'm like, I should do what? Like, it's just getting ridiculous. So I'm not going to do sign language. My mother-in-law is actually a BSL level 5 interpreter. I could play her that video.
Yeah, get her to do it. Go on.
But,
well, you're an idiot now because you've just told 25,000 people that your mother-in-law is a qualified lip reader. We'll chuck her a box of roses. I'm sure there'll be a super chat or something.
Wait there, Mark. I'm an idiot. She's not a qualified lip reader. She's a signer. BSL, British Sign Language. So forget that. What I was
Unfortunately, Ollie wasn't doing sign language. We need a lip reader. Yeah, we do need a lip reader. But yeah, I mean, look, I think you were just off air. I mean, I can read the WhatsApp out. I just can't say who it's from. My guy, and basically what they've said is that nothing's changed. They're ready for it to drop. An announcement to follow, and I'm like, that's verbatim what's in the message. So you don't know what to believe. But there are press briefings from the club. There is Romano, who's very close, probably to the agent involved in the deal. I don't know. He will know somebody very close to it. You've got Dortmund trying to flex their muscles as well, and ultimately, as per usual, it's the fan who becomes the person who is just like a sponge soaking all this up, and they don't know which way to turn. Which is what I said, and I presume you will have your opinion. Is that ultimately, whatever you thought this morning, think tonight. I don't think anything that's happened today should change your opinion.
What, on Sancho?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think that wherever we are is wherever we are, and if you were confident last night, like me, Ricky, Saeed, and Adam were, then you should remain confident tonight. I ain't
gonna lie to you. When I was less confident. I ain't gonna lie. When I heard that, I was like, especially with the bit of we've got an extra year on it that you lot didn't know about, plus that's final. I'm not saying that they made me think 100% it's not happening. It just put a little bit of doubt in my mind. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's fair enough. But I just think we've been through this so many times and so many cycles. And look, a cycle can change, but always feels to me like big hype. Then it's it's not as close as it was meant to be. Then we're going to walk away. Then it's over. Then here we go. Then it's official, and we see that so many times. So, you what?
I said I do hope that does happen. I hope out of the blue, they're just trying to quash everything, and then bang, United Twitter account. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It seems like we're way off that at the minute.
Well, I think from the press briefing and certainly from the press briefing last week as well. I think that, unfortunately, that is something I would take away, is that it does feel like it could be running for quite a while, and in which case, that is not what people want to feel. I mean, I must admit, at the weekend, I felt like I had Sancho fatigue as well. Imagine the embarrassment if United can't get a transfer over the line in a one-horse race, says B. Yakov. Streaming with Alex says, if this deal is going to take a month, I'd prefer we start focusing on bringing 4 or 5 other players in. A few people are saying that. Andrew Rossi says, Real Madrid has overpaid for players for years and nobody ever said anything about it. This club has a small mentality. It's a business, mate. That's what it is. It's a business. Real Madrid, Barcelona. Look at Barcelona. £135 million on Ousmane Dembele. £135 million on Coutinho. £100 million on Griezmann. They overpaid on all 3 of them. Did Barcelona fans start punching their chest and saying, we don't want to overpay, big up the president for not paying? This is what I mean. What the Glazers have turned this club into, in quite a clever way, is they've made you very aware about shareholders meetings, about balance sheets, and it makes you subconsciously care about what money we spend. They're very clever in what they've done there, because ultimately, when we walk away from a Perisic deal and people go, well done United, don't give Inter Milan what they want, well done, and that money doesn't get spent, it's then available for dividends and profits. So we've become
not our
a club.
money.
No, it's not our money. Once it's in that club, it should be our money, but it's not our money, which is why I don't really care what we pay. I can say 80 million was too much for Harry Maguire, but we had to pay it. And the same with with Jadon Sancho. I think it's a significant signing that we need to make.
Yeah, I agree.
Calm down, everyone. I'm working on it, trying to get them to budge down to 107 million, says Ed Woodward. Imagine if it was. And this is my first super chat. Just want to say hi, Mark. Says Soccer Artist FC. Hello. And do you feel United is the only club in the world when they are interested in a player, the club jacks up the value of the player compared to it, like Liverpool? I think sometimes, Liam. But you know what, Flex? 80 million for Harry Maguire. Do you think that was massively overvalued? And when you consider that the old English tax, 50 million for Wan-Bissaka, 47 million for Bruno looks like a steal actually, and 100 million for Sancho is probably about right. So I don't think we're being overpaid. I don't think we're overpaid.
It is, but these players, this shouldn't be that, in my opinion. I don't think Harry Maguire should be costing £80 million. For a 20-year-old Sancho, should it be £120 million? Only because of the craziness that's been in the market. So the industry standard has been set, but it shouldn't be happening, but it's just gone through the roof, hasn't it? So you've got to expect it. Maguire more so, though. He's not worth £80 million for me.
You know what, though? With Harry Maguire, the 75 million that Van Dijk had cost from Southampton, and I know Van Dijk's way better than Maguire, but at that time, you couldn't clearly see it at that time. And the fact that he's English, the fact that Leicester didn't want to sell, I just think that it was he was overpriced, but I felt that that's what you had to pay to get him, really.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right when you say it's not our money, so we just have to pay it because we've got to think of the development of our team. Like Liverpool didn't go, Van Dijk's not going to be worse. Because Van Dijk's so good, people are saying it's money well spent, and they don't think Harry Maguire is as good, so it's like it's money wasted. I'm not saying we definitely should not have paid it, because we needed a centre-back and we needed one who was going to play for a long time for us and be a big character, but is he worth 80 million quid at that time? I don't think so, personally.
Oh, I've disappeared off the screen here. I actually will just disappear for a moment, Flex. Copenhagen, the game is only 7 minutes away from kickoff. Thoughts and fears and what you're expecting from it?
I'm expecting a win. Excited about the Fred situation, like I said. I think Bailly and Maguire, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I don't think Copenhagen put us over out of massive pressure, under massive pressure. I think we're going to win the game comfortably. Might concede, so I have gone with a 3-1. But I think, like I said, that tiredness that we saw from the boys at the back end of the season it should be gone. They've had 2 and a bit weeks off, barring Pogba, who come on against Lask. That should be it. And Martial, who come on for a short time, got his goal. So they should be well rested and absolutely ready to go. And they should be thinking of it like, 3 games and we've got our first trophy under Oli, and that is the biggest thing. We're still Man United. No, we don't want to be in the Europa League, but guess what? We know we're in the Champions League already. They should be playing without the fear, playing without the pressure. And what I've learned from this team is that when the pressure's off, usually they do all right. Do you know what I'm saying? It was those crunch games where we couldn't manage to beat that team to get into 4th, or the game that really mattered. Right until the last couple of games, we kept failing. But I think now the pressure's off. They know they're in the Champions League. Obviously, there's no fans, and it's one-off games, man. These are not two-legged ties, so I think they go for it. We get into a Copenhagen, and I think we win comfortably. I hope I'm right. Mark's just sitting down. I think he's sitting down.
Yeah, I'm back now. Oh, God, what a day. Tiring. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, the United stand. You're all very, very welcome. And let's have a look at some of the tube chats. All this stress of the transfer deal will be worth it, says Dylan from Cork, when Sancho scores the winner in both derbies next season. I think that's the important thing, is the player that we're getting. You know, sometimes that gets lost in a transfer window. Do you think we missed out on Bruno last summer as we ran out of time, says Julian? You never know with United. United need to sign Goldbridge with his invisibility cloak, says Harvind. Oh, I can't be asked to run anywhere at the moment, mate. But I am very excited about this game, and I hope that everybody else is as well, because it's a big opportunity, and you know, the last thing we want, Flex, is to be turned over, and all the embarrassment that would come with that.
Yeah, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. I was just saying before you went there, before you come back, that I'm confident tonight. One thing we know about this set of players is that when the pressure's off, they usually perform quite well. You know, they know that they're in the Champions League. They know that their fate has already been sealed, and they're one-legged ties. You know, win 3 games and you won the Europa League. And those players that were kind of a bit mentally and physically tired towards the end of that season, because it took it out of us, because we didn't play well against Leicester as well for large parts. I think they're just rested, and I think we see a different United against a Copenhagen side that, you know, like their own manager admits, they need us to have an off day and for them to do everything correct. And
I think that's a bit of reverse psychology, though, because I don't think that they are, you know, I think they're as bad. They're not as bad as he's making out. I really don't think.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of it, but I don't know. It did seem a little. I know there's little mind games going on, and look, we know the players surely ain't gonna fall for that. But I don't know. I think he's got a point. I don't watch Copenhagen every time, but that's how I would expect. The only way they should be able to beat us in terms of the players we have. If our players turn up and play to the best of their ability, there's no way Copenhagen can beat us.
I hope not. Okay, well, I'll get you on at half-time, mate. Appreciate you popping on. It's been a long build-up, that one, and I think a lot of it is to do with this constant Jadon Sancho activity. And look, you know, I think that's one of the big reasons why we all just would like to have it resolved, but I don't think it's going to get resolved anytime soon, unfortunately. But we'll speak to you at half-time, and we'll be able to talk about some football.
Yes, see you then, bro.
All right, speak to you in a minute, pal.
Cool. Right, well.
You can follow Flex on Twitter. It's at FlexUTD, and he'll be back at half time and also full time with the fan cammers like Ricky and Saeed and Adam and others. Look at Dembele and Aubameyang. I think Sancho will hand in a transfer request. This deal will still happen. We walked away from Bruno, and look what happens. Says Extras E. Nick P says you would think we would have learnt our lesson by now. Sign great players, play great football, make more money in the long run. Simple formula. Except we're a business run by businessmen who want money. Just a theory. Full kit launch, not the Adidas outlets, is tomorrow. Tuesday could line up with Sancho buy to boost shirt sales, says Childish. Old King says if Zorc's serious, there may be a very small silver lining, as it will teach Woodward to stop messing around. And Farhan says, how do we compete in the Champions League if players outside our best squad pull strings against teams like can't pull strings against teams like Lask? Whether we sign Sancho or not, we need a better squad, which is fair enough. And hi Mark and Flex, how are you guys? Do you think by dropping Matic is because you don't believe in him for a whole season? Copenhagen is good defensively, very good indeed, says Chelsea Helsland. And if you could bring a prime former United player back to Ollie for next season, who would you choose? Says Ollie Jenks. Everybody will know. Just put it in the live comments. If you know, you know. What will the Glazers do without us, the fans? They make us care about what they care about when costs don't even matter, and we are always left high and dry. Yeah, I call them the chest beaters. I don't understand why Manchester United fans would give a shit about the wages of a player, the value of a player, what we pay for a player, when it's never going to benefit us. It doesn't benefit us. Like, what benefits us is getting the players in. And yeah. We missed out on Sancho. The sporting director for Dortmund just mentioned the current situation, says Nee. No, we didn't. What will the Glazers do with that? I've read that one as well. So thanks for all your super chats. Keep them flying in. We'll still keep reading them in. That can come out my ear. It would be Roy Keane I would bring back as well. The players are on the pitch. We're about to get up and running with this game. We will keep you up to date with what is going on with Sancho, but realistically... and there is a feeling that Jadon Sancho has got to push for the move. Great opportunity and audition for Fred at CDM, says Extra Z. I'm very excited to see what Fred can do in this game today. It is a great opportunity for Fred, and it's one that I hope that he doesn't fail and he does well in. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. The game is about to kick off actually, and I'm not actually ready with my timer. Pogba's ready. Nice haircut. Players on their knee. Great opportunity for Fred. Yes, definitely. I've got a couple of super chats to read. I'm just waiting for the timer to kick in. You know, that Man United kit is actually really nice. It really is nice. Obviously really want Sancho, but if it fails for whatever reason, I'd be tempted to go for Ronaldo to fill the gap if worst came to the worst, says Lee McDermott. And James says, Mark, you've helped me through a lot. My dad used to watch the Sunday show you did. Thank you, Rashford on Twitter. I'll DM you our lettered. Thank you very much, Al James, and I'm glad that your dad enjoyed it, and I hope that you do as well. Welcome to the community. Hello from Malahide to Shane Finnegan. Hello. So Copenhagen with the ball here. We should tread carefully with Borussia Dortmund. Good terms with them will help if we want Bellingham or Haaland in the future, says Green Grits. Yes and no. Ultimately, you're going to end up paying what they want. They're going to, you know, Bellingham will cost a lot of money in the future. Anyway, eyes on the game. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I don't think it gives it. Oh, let me just have a check on this. That's what I was going to have a look at actually. Cologne weather. Eric Bay with the tackle there. 32 degrees currently in Cologne. So it's hot, and it may not be clear that it's hot, but it is hot. And now is a chance for Martial. Lays it to Rashford. Keeps hold of the ball. Gives it to Brandon Williams. Martial should be darting down that line there. Oh God, I've got a really bad lower arse pain on the muscle. Not that muscle. Fred's playing the deeper of the two. I mean, I'm interested to see Fred tonight. I've always felt that Fred is the better CDM backup than McTominay, and I'd like to see him having a good game. How well would Ollie himself have fared today, says the Kraken. Oh, you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a player that I never really saw as a starter for United, but was a fantastic bench player. Lovely ball over the top, and it will go for a corner. So what we want to see is Bruno on Maguire's head here. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, that kit is really nice. I've always loved the black United shorts, by the way. But that kit, although I said it looks very plain and boring, bought it for my daughter, and when you've got it in person, the close-up work in the shirt really looks nice. Cross comes in, not a great one from Bruno, headed away. Fred. Now Pogba. And now Copenhagen. That'll go for a throw-in. Yeah, Fred's under the spotlight tonight, as is Bailly, which is always something nice to see. There's not 2 legs, it's just one. I see a lot of people saying about swapping Bruno and Pogba around. I would try it because I don't trust Pogba around the box. Takes too many touches, says Sean Turner. I think there's a lack of education there. To swap Pogba and Bruno really doesn't betray much of a knowledge of Bruno Fernandes's career. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I think sometimes we all try to turn into Pep Guardiola when realistically football's quite an easy game. I'm not a big fan of trying to be clever. It's like when people say, let's play Lindelof as a CDM or let's try Wan-Bissaka as a centre-back. I mean, let's try Bruno a little bit deeper and Pogba more advanced. Well, straight away, you lose Pogba's creativity from deep. You lose Pogba's ability to travel from deep with the ball, which is 2 of his biggest attributes. And then you put Bruno too far away. What was that from Brandon Williams? He kept it in. He has kept it in. I thought it had gone out. And then with Bruno, you take him too far away from the penalty box. So I just think you make United weaker by doing that. I like Pogba box to box, and I like Bruno more advanced. United are going to miss Matic, says Stephen Clark. I think United's weakest area is left back with Brandon Williams. I think he's a good right back. I don't think he's a good left back because he hasn't got a left foot. So I think that's the area we need to be careful about. Eric Bailly, I think, is a good centre back. He just needs to keep his concentration levels up, which Harry should help him. It is only 1 leg, so we will be in or out tonight. And I will be keeping an eye on Polish Speedway. No, I won't. I've done it again. Go up, not down. Inter Milan versus Leverkusen. I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. Hoping for a strong performance, says Sean Finnerty. Ollie has misused him since the start, says Sean Finnerty in relation to Fred. Roma Dude says BBC reports that Sancho is to stay at Dortmund and that the decision is final. That's actually a story from 4 o'clock, Roma Dude, where there's been a lot of information after that. Corner won by Martial with a good run into the box. Yeah, that's an old story now. That's the Michael Zorg story that we all predicted. Since then, you've had the English press being briefed about agent fees and wage structure, and also frustration at dealing with an agent instead of Dortmund, but that it's a long window and this is going to drag on. I think that's the situation there. That's all I can give you at the moment. I'm as confident this morning as I am now that it will get done. Bruno's cross this time. Harry Maguire does get it on target, but no power on it. Wants a bit of a foul, actually, but not sure he's going to get one. Is Varela playing for Copenhagen tonight? He's a right back. Yes. Polish Speedway watch along. When I press down instead of up from BT Sports, it goes down to Polish Speedway. Sancho will hand in a transfer request, says Sean Turner. There's a lot of people talking about that. It doesn't necessarily work. Good play by Fred from deep here. And a nice distribution of the ball to Bruno. Gives it to Pogba. That's good from Fred, that is. And I think that's something Fred can do. He can carry the ball. Mark, can you give a shout out to my mate Moley? His first time watching the United stand, says Muzzy Lions. Hello to Moley. Big up, Moley. Hope you're doing well, Moley. There you go. That's enough, Moley. Free kick to Manchester United here. Still 0-0 in Leverkusen and Inter. All these games being played in Germany, of course. Free kick for United here, quite far out. I think Rashford might hit this from this distance. Is the t-shirt going to do its ting? Everybody sing. Abu Khan, I'm putting you in a timeout, and if you continue, it will just turn to a block. Your comment is not offensive, just mildly stupid, because you're talking about a tweet from this morning, and we spoke about it this morning. So I don't know whether you're trying to annoy people or not, but crap free kick there from Rashford. And we paid 80 million for a fridge on wheels. These man don't want to drop 110 on a generational talent, says Toby. Okay, Ed, you prat, pay the thing. Good point, Toby. Very good point, Aladapu. Nice ball into Rashford. Back heel. Ooh, I tell you what. Greenwood chucked his foot at it. Didn't get much power on it. And Copenhagen come away with it. I'm nervous as Jay. I mean, you know what? So much has been going on with the Jadon Sancho thing. 33 for Copenhagen looks like Modric. Plays like him as well. Been so nervous about the Sancho thing. Well, so fixated with the Sancho thing. Sort of haven't had time to sort of settle into the game. So my score prediction is 2-0 to Manchester United. Yeah. You said the shirt's nice in person, Mark, so would you buy it? Thinking about getting it, but I haven't seen it in person yet, says Sean Turner. I don't buy United shirts anymore. I bought the one last year because we gave it away. But I do like that shirt in real life. It's much better than what the pictures do for it. So if you are somebody who buys shirts, I would buy that United shirt. Yeah, it's one of the better ones I've seen in a long time. It just doesn't do it justice, I don't think, when you look at it on a picture. When you actually get it, the detailing is decent. So 10 minutes gone. Steady. You know what? I did say this in the preview. I know a lot of people are talking about 4 or 5-0. I think that disrespects Copenhagen, and it disrespects the fact that this is, to me, this is going to be like a Euros. It's a shame there's no fans there, of course, but it is a tournament where everybody's in the same place for 2 weeks, and I think there is a nervousness about it. It's knockout tournament football. We've all seen it in the Euros, in the World Cup. You know, the best games in the World Cup in the Euros tend to be in the knockouts, in the group stage, because there's more second chances. When it gets to the knockout stage, you know, there's a little bit of nervousness. Teams a little bit more tight, a little bit more reserved. So I think it'll be a tight game. There's Varela there, just there with the right back. With the bleached hair. Oh, I've got a really bad hip pain. Not that you lot care. You just don't care about my hips. Really hurts. I'd like to be in a swimming pool, naked. I just think swimming naked's quite a nice thing if you're on your own. Or with the wife. She doesn't have to be naked. I'm getting her in trouble now. Why would she want me to be swimming naked? I don't know. But I just think that, you know what I mean? A nice swimming pool where you can have a good old stretch. I'm rambling. Varela on the ball for Copenhagen. Copenhagen is not in Sweden. There's this misconception, well, maybe it was just me, that Copenhagen is in Sweden. It's not. It's in Denmark. Danish Bacon. Danish Peter Schmeichel. Legolas. He's kept it in there. Number 33. And Copenhagen are moving the ball around a lot here. Strider. Aragon. Oh, it's a big chance there, and Bay just gets himself in the way. I thought it was going to be a tap-in for Copenhagen, and the cross came in, and he was on the edge of the 6-yard box. He just didn't connect. And if he connected, I think United were 1-0 down, and it's a little bit of a sloppy start from Manchester United in relation to Copenhagen being able to switch the play here, and he wins a corner by blasting it off Wan-Bissaka. How many subscribers do we need to hit to get you a more comfortable chair? As funny as it is to see you waggle on screen, back support is important. So streaming with that. It's not even back support, Alex. It's just that I don't want to sit down for 2 hours. Hey, Mark, I just saw the news on Sancho and I have a feeling we may not sign him and the club will walk away. The worst thing is we may not sign anyone. This is George Ramos. I'm very confident still. And imagine if Mark's £50 for a shirt is the money we need for Sancho, says LXDXC. Well, Wan-Bissaka's down here at the moment because he's just been smacked in the face with the ball. Famous things from Denmark, Vikings as well. Mark, you are at least 20 seconds behind in the game, mate, says Colden Hobson. Mate, it's probably YouTube. I can't do anything about what YouTube does. YouTube will slow a stream down, so I can't do anything about that. Remember what Shaqiri said, Mark, says Red Baron. Shakira? Don't know. What did Shakira say? Legos from Denmark, says Frankfurter. Yes. Carlsberg as well. Showing them too much respect. In my opinion, they're leaving space. We should batter these. Wan-Bissaka's just coming off for a minute. And there's a Copenhagen player down as well. Showing that, yeah, we've read that from Dominic Ashton. And he's coming off as well. They're losing a player straight away. Oh, baby, when you've got Shakira in my head now. Forever, wherever, we're meant to be together. Let's see what's happening in the other game. I've gone down to Polish Speedway again. Join me next week. If United get knocked out next week, we'll be doing a Polish Speedway watch-along on the channel. Inter Milan against Leverkusen. It is 0-0 in that game at the moment. It's 1-0 actually. Barella has scored for Inter Milan. So that'd be a good result for Inter Milan, you know, because I'm not convinced that Italian football is better than them. What do you think about the first 10 minutes? I think both Bay and Fred's been good, but our front five are losing the ball quite easily, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. I think that's a fair indication of what's going on. Brandon Williams did clear one off the line there as well. Why are people panicking? Transfer window's not closed yet, says Forever PVM. Maybe both clubs had a talk. When season ends from both teams, a decision will be made on Sancho. And give us your best Solskjaer impression, says Alex Clementina. I'm not very good at on-demand things. Copenhagen haven't lost with more than one goal in Europe since Atletico Madrid in 2018. They've been in every season, says Chelsea. And thank you for that. I think Fred started the game well. He tries to move the ball quickly and a couple of tackles as well, says Marek Smekar. So yeah, a bit of a slow start from United. I suppose this was always the concern when you've had a couple of weeks off, that there might be a little bit of a slow start. Eric Bailly fought off the ball, put on his arse. Good block. Shot, block. Bloody hell, United. This ain't good. Handball by Greenwood. United, I will not buy the new kit if they don't buy a proper right winger, says Soccer Artist. And we're living a little bit dangerously here. Eric Bailly got absolutely sat down in the box there, didn't he? I mean, that did not look good. Why do we play so slow, says Max. Bay's defending is fire, says Mikhail. Well, the fire was put out very badly there. He... and that's going to go for a goal kick. Sorry, I'm standing up again. Yeah, Fred gave the ball away, and then Eric Bailly gets turned over and put on his arse. So that's not great for either of those two players there, really, is it? Lindelof and Maguire, Matic have probably sat there going, yeah, we should have started. Now, look, I don't know what people are trying to suggest here, It was Eric Bailly who got put on his arse, not Fred. Fred gave the ball away. Eric Bailly got put on his arse. Both culpable. Welcome to Byron Cordwell, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thanks for joining, pal. And we should pay 100 million for Van der Beek. Proved himself in the Champions League, says Jonathan K. We won't need to pay that much for him. United just look a little bit rusty to me at the back. What are we doing? Wan-Bissaka there, lazy ball out the back. Romero having to come out. I've just tweeted there, it's been a shocking start, poor at the back and no cohesion in the attack. And what's that from Williams? He wins a corner, but it's dreadful. Copenhagen sponsored by Carlsberg. What a surprise. I think that's where it's made as well. Deep cross. Maguire! Oh, Rashford! He's got my T-shirt on and he's put it over the bar. I think he might have been offside anyway. Harry Maguire has it on the back post, heads it to across the goal. And, I mean, Rashford should be scoring this. If he's closed his eyes, they would have been offside. They would have been offside anyway. But it wasn't Rashford, it's Bruno. I didn't see Bruno coming in behind. It was offside anyway, but he should have scored that, Bruno. Come on. Big, big chance that was. Imagine the memes of that airport picture if we lose tonight. Greenwood, new tattoo, is sick. Seriously, though, how bad is a loss tonight? Says Soup. Powerful. And Mark, is there a problem with the Super Chats getting loads of errors? Says Martin Mason. I don't know, mate. And surely United can push to 90 million as Sancho's shirt sales should be high, says Led Zeppelo. The thing about shirt sales is that Adidas have already paid us the sponsorship. So Manchester United don't make a lot of money from shirt sales because we don't make a lot of money from shirt sales because Adidas have already basically paid the sponsorship to sell those. It's not a penalty to United, anybody who thinks it is. We've had 21 minutes here. At least there's not going to be a bloody drinks break. But this is medicinal. Copenhagen probably been the better team in the first 20 minutes, I've got to say. Please share the video if you're watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. It was offside, it's not a penalty. Greenwood with the layoff. We just look very rusty. Oh, terrible pass by Wan-Bissaka. Gets Bruno into trouble. Copenhagen into the box. That's like the guy who turns up to a football match in his trainers, thinks he's Maradona, and tries to do some skill move. Look at it. What are you doing in the Europa League, mate? What skill move are you trying to do? It ain't FIFA. He's tried to do the old directional circle with a little bit of an L1. And he slipped and made himself look a right prat. Anyway, remains 0-0. Sloppy passing from United has been the story of this half. We've not been able to create anything. Haven't won since Southampton. It's very worrying, says Hansen. We did beat Leicester, mate. It got us in the top 4. Inter have scored again, apparently. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 2-0, Lukaku. Of course, United, if they were to win, would play Sevilla or Wolves. There's a chance here. It's a little bit wide for Greenwood. He's going to have to come back on his left foot. Needs a pass here. Nice pass to Pogba. That's it. Just be patient. Here's Fred. Go to Brandon. Brandon's got all the space. I don't know why we ignored Brandon Williams there on that side. Go on, Pogba. Nicely into Martial. Hold up play. Good chasing down by Pogba. Cleared by Copenhagen. Fred will pick it up. Maguire will pick it up. Yeah, looks like Inter Milan waltz. I think Inter Milan will be in the final. I don't know what the other quarter final is, but for me, the winner will come from this game: Wolves, Sevilla, or Inter Leverkusen. And it's looking like Inter are going comfortably through at the moment. Oh, it's 2-1. 2-1. Leverkusen have got a goal back. Havertz makes it 2-1. Through the keeper's legs. There you go. They're in a bloody drinks break. I thought we got rid of the drinks break. Sod off drinks break. I don't need a bloody drinks break. Why are they having a drinks break? Never even bloody started. So what's your thoughts, everybody, on that first 25? Not been great, has it? Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner on the road to 791,000 subscribers. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. You're welcome. We will have match reaction after the game. You can vote for the player ratings in the second half. We'll also have all the fan cams with Ricky and co. Back tomorrow morning as well, live every morning at 10 a.m. with the transfer update, and live every night at 8 o'clock as well. So lots to get involved with. Lots going on around Manchester United at the moment. Shakhtar, the next against Basel, is the other quarter-final Ninja Smurf United. So yeah, you'd feel that Inter Milan or Havertz would Havertz or as they're other known, Leverkusen would be the team to get to the final in that side of the draw if they come through this game. We're missing Matic. And Inter have got a penalty here as we go up. And it's Lukaku. That's the better game at the moment, isn't it? Lots of people saying it shouldn't have been a penalty. Rashford always smashing a pass like a free kick. His long balls aren't worth running after, says Carl Rayner. A lot of people saying it wasn't a penalty for Inter. I've not seen it yet. Chelsea says, I'm sorry, Fred isn't good enough. He's shaky and makes other players insecure as well. Well, I think Fred is one of those players that definitely needs... Oh, he's now looking at it on the VAR. It's been disallowed, I think. Lukaku's ready to tap it in. We'll just go back to the United game for a moment. Bruno Fernandes has got a good free kick opportunity here as well for United. So we're sort of keeping an eye on both here. Good opportunity for Bruno, this. If anyone's ever watched my Manchester United FIFA career mode, this would be in the top corner every time. It's a good opportunity for Bruno. Up and over the wall. No, up and over the bar, and I'm afraid. We're back on Polish Speedway again. I need Inter Milan. And no penalty, no handball in the Inter Milan game. So the review is good. Crap free kick from Bruno. Got to be said. I say what I see. If I see it, I say it. No penalty for Inter either. 28,000 people watching. Hope you're enjoying it. The other game has been far more interesting, but not if you're a United fan. We've been poor in this game. Rashford into Martial. Poor control by Martial there. The touch just looks very off. Nice ball into Martial. Nice turn. He's going to hit it. Took a touch too much, I think, there, but he finds Wan-Bissaka. Now Greenwood. And a few people are actually saying on Twitter, and I think you're quite right, it's like United thought they just had to turn up to win, and maybe we're playing our way into this tournament. I did say tournament football, though, it's not always the most exciting, and a decentish ball from Rashford there trying to find Martial. It doesn't quite work out. Sancho stays at Dortmund, says their sporting director. Have you heard anything? Says Jonas Halsey. No, we've only been talking for about 2 hours about it. I would say if you thought Sancho was coming to United this morning, I wouldn't change your mind. If you were concerned, I wouldn't change your mind. I think it's not a big change. Hansen says, I think I was meant to say we've been poor since Southampton, which I think is a fair assumption. What did I have for dinner, says Wyatt? I had a very nice vegetarian shepherd's pie. Yeah, it was good. United are legit playing like it's pre-season, says Sarab. Good tackle by Fred. Half an hour gone. Not enough done by United for me. Is this a friendly, says Alfie King? You'd almost feel like it was a pre-season game. The mentality. You know what? To be fair to the players, maybe there's something in that. I mean, whether it's acceptable or not, but maybe that little bit of a break, having got top 4. Are they not in the mindset yet? I don't know. But they'll have to get in the mind. Lovely ball by Pogba, switching it out wide to Bruno. They'll have to get in that mindset quickly. Lovely nutmeg. Williams lays it back. Greenwood can't get it out his feet. Work by Martial, and Copenhagen come away with it. If they come through this game, they'll need to get in the right mindset, because Wolves will be a tough game, and so will what's his name? Welcome to Doug D, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. What's his name? Inter Milan, or it would be tough as well. Bruno to Williams. Come on, United. Let's start carving open a few chances here. Welcome to Jonas Halsey, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Little bit of a flick. Bruno, cross comes in. Headed away. Wan-Bissaka's on the back post, late off to Greenwood. Tries to get a shot off. Deflects. Corner. It's 2-1 to Inter, yes. Cross comes in, headed away by Copenhagen. And cleared down the line. Joe Medic says United are massive odds on to win this game. They need to show that quality. What's the best meal you can make, says Juan. I make a good lasagna, to be fair. Thoughts on Eric Bailly and Fred so far? Look, I think half an hour is unfair to judge, but I mean, Eric Bailly just doesn't fill me with confidence. He never does. I think my days of thinking Eric Bailly is the solution to our defensive problems are gone. I always quite liked the theory of Maguire and Eric Bailly, but in practice, I don't like Eric Bailly as a centre back. I find him clumsy. takes too many risks. I'd rather just have a no-nonsense centre-back. Harry Maguire, Nemanja Vidic, Virgil van Dijk. I know they're all very good centre-backs, but one of the great things about why they're good is because they do the simple things well. They clear it when they're in danger. They win the ball in the air. They don't overcomplicate things. Fred's been good, says Ivan. Well, Fred and Bailly nearly cost us a goal, but look, I think Fred's a player that needs to feel his way into a team. Philip says that Bailly is better than Maguire. God. A lot of people saying Fred's done quite well. He's definitely playing the CDM role, which is what I like to see. I really do feel that he can do that job better than McTominay. Sancho's got proven quality, says Daniel Svejic. As a cam, do we need him? And a cam, Rochford like Depay. When Shaw got injured, looks lost without proper left back. A must signing, says Daniel. And Mark, need clarity. Romano said Dortmund want 120 million euros in a single instalment. Any truth in that? You think we can pay that? And nearly got Rashford in there, Bruno. I think there's a bit of confusion about what actually was said by Fabrizio Romano. I think what Fabrizio Romano actually said is that United want to do add-ons, whereas Dortmund want instalments. So thoughts on Pogba? I think he's man of the match so far. Proper efficient in my opinion, says Chase White. I just think I'd just like to see United doing a little bit more going forward. I think we all would. If anyone rates Bailly, then they've never played football. As a centre-back, you clear your lines. He's a headless chicken and dives in all the time. Awful, says Sean Turner. And Fred lost the ball once. You guys need to get off his backside. He played good balls and made important tackles, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. And I do think with Fred, he is a player that is a grower. He's not played a lot of football recently, and I think that look, whether he is the option, whether he is the centre defensive midfield solution or not, I don't know. But we definitely do need one because we're not going to buy one. How was it? He's in bed. Copenhagen coming forward here. Scrappy says you're very biased towards Eric Bailly when the 80 million donkey is no better. I think comparing Harry Maguire to Eric Bailly is a bit like comparing Paul Pogba to Scott McTominay, really. Here's Varela down the right-hand side. It's a decent cross. And Eric Bailly does well there. There you go. There you go. Well done, Eric Bailly. Why I don't agree with you, Mark, is that United do need another different profile striker. No target man to cross to. MMA aren't great in the air, says Robin. And corner here for Copenhagen. Flanks are not effective, making it easy to defend from the middle, says Nitin. I just think we miss Luke Shaw massively. Cross comes in, Romero punching. And Fred nearly win it. Well, I've just tweeted something there, and I don't know what your thoughts are on about it, but I basically said is, again, this just shows me why we miss Luke Shaw so much. There's no natural left balance. There's no overlapping, which Luke Shaw provides. I think Rashford's a worse player without him. And I don't think Wan-Bissaka's going through a good period at the moment. So effectively, we're not getting any width, which makes us very easy to read. We're trying to go down the middle all the time. Like, look at Harry Maguire there. There's a ball onto the left-hand side. And we're not looking for it enough. We're trying to go down the middle because we're not using the flanks. Very poor from United, really. That was a foul on Wan-Bissaka. Remember, you can do your player ratings in the second half. We'll open it up on the website. You can vote for every single player out of 10, and then in my match reaction I'll give my ratings, but when I'm clicking it, it will show yours aggregated. So if thousands of you vote, the player ratings are accurate. Do you think Sancho deal would already be done if we had a director of football? Love the channel, hope you well, Mark, says Janino. I think so, yeah. And we need a left back. All the Sancho talk is important, but our left side is awful, says David Gardner. Well, remember, Jadon Sancho can play off the left as well. But tactically, it's not been great. I saw you at the park today, says Ryan. You didn't, because I've not been to the park today. Wonder who it was. A lucky likey. Malahide Island. Are you impressed by Copenhagen or disappointed by United, says Jenks 1102. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I expected a little bit of a better performance from United, to be honest. But the organisation and ability of Copenhagen hasn't surprised me. I didn't think... I predicted United would win 2-0. And I think that can still happen, because I think at some point our quality is going to have to come through. But I don't think Copenhagen are going to switch off and lose their discipline. So I just don't think they're going to have the quality to really cause us major problems in relation to conceding goals. So it's tournament football at the end of the day, isn't it? I think the way this game's going at the moment, if we can just get through this tie and grow into the tournament a bit, I'd take that. I don't see the confidence of us winning it 3 or 4-0. I don't think Copenhagen are that. They're not last flints. They're not that sort of team. Nice ball into Bruno there. Terrible ball by Bruno. I mean, Bruno's not having a great game. Switch it. Nice ball out to Wan-Bissaka. Lovely. To Greenwood. Go back to Bruno. Oh, Fred. Here's Bruno into Pogba first time. Goes wide. This is a bit better from United. Although Wan-Bissaka never really looks totally in control of the ball, does he? This is better from United. Just have a bit of play. Oh, fucking hell, Brandon. I know it was a bad pass by Bruno, but he looks so... The thing about Brandon Williams recently is he just looks so right-footed. It doesn't seem to be... That's twice now he's had the ball on the touchline, and it would be a routine control for a left footer, which apparently he's both footed. And I think when he first came into the team, I thought he did look quite good on his left, but to me, he increasingly looks more and more right-footed. BT Sport have said Sancho isn't leaving and that's the decision is final. Do you think Edward is to blame? Says Wadu Will. Well, that's not what they've said. So, you know. And Mark, whilst we're talking about Shaw on the left, do you have any updates on his injury and when will he return? I think he's going to be back for next season. So next month. And that was from Caden Hobson. And Dane Summers says, might not want to answer, but how's the dog? It was funny when you did the videos while walking him. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's a long time ago since we did those, though. I miss Luke Shaw, says White Towel. I mean, look, whatever you think about Luke Shaw, I just think having a left footer helps at left back. Reminds me when Phil Neville used to play at left back. He's right footed. Bruno should have netted the free kicks as Venkat. I would have buried that with Bruno on FIFA. Easy. But FIFA's not real life. Nice ball by Fred. Here's Bruno. Into Martial. Well, I don't know how Martial didn't get the shot off there, so I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, was there any shout for a penalty? Probably not. Whenever Williams receives the ball, he's towards our defenders and leaves to scope for quick forward pass. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, first touch is horrible, says Nitton. He's just very right-footed, Brandon Williams. I think he'd be a good right back. We haven't even seen the replay there to see if it was a penalty. Lack of system and coaching. Wait a minute. Here's Greenwood on the right hand side. Whip it in, it bounced up towards Martial on the 6-yard line. He should have headed it. Joshu, hold on a minute. Here's Rashford on the edge of the box. Bad control. Front three not doing particularly well, I would say. Well done, Brandon Williams. Good battling there. Wins it back. Rashford. Shoots straight at the keeper. Just bounces off him. Lack of system and coaching. Players look lost and have looked lost since the Southampton game. Will continue as long as we have Ollie as our coach, says Josh Yu. Ninja Smurf United says Rashford's final ball is still one of the biggest downfalls. So having a right-footed left back and a left winger that is unpredictable passing could be why the team are avoiding the left flank. Fred looks more active than Bruno, says Sergey. And I think we need Jay Lings on the pitch for a quick hat-trick, says Josia. I wouldn't be surprised if he brought him on, actually. You know. Here's Greenwood. In. Oh, what a finish. Mason Greenwood in off the post. Give him a snuff and he'll take a yard. He's happy with that. And the finish is delightful. Absolutely delightful. That we've got to be a little bit careful here because it's right on half-time and it may well be a hint of offside, possibly. Well, no, it can't be offside. The kick comes through. Headed by Harry Maguire. He's offside. He's bloody offside. It won't be given. He's offside. What a finish by Greenwood, but he's offside. That will not get given. Unless the angle is terrible, he's offside. He's offside, I'm afraid. I mean, the finish is superb, but this is why I didn't go mad about it, because I thought it was offside. And unless the angle they've shown us on the camera there is better than the angle we saw, he looks offside. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. I mean, this is the thing about VAR. You've got to be careful, haven't you? I mean, the thing that annoys me about that is the linesman should be getting that. The linesman should get that. You know what? I'd love to be having a rant. I'd love to be moaning. What a finish by Mason Greenwood. What a player. As Charlie says, the finish was delightful. I mean, he could have gone for a sweaty finish and squared it, but he's miles off. It's not even debatable. He's miles offside. In the context of a football game, there's a whole player between. I think Ollie knew as well. It's a shame the linesman didn't know. 0-0. Counts for nothing. Cracking finish by Greenwood. But it shows United, you know, give them the chances and we can win this game. I think if we can just get in front, we'll win. So it remains 0-0. He was offside. There is no debate. We can't moan. We can't do anything. The linesman probably should have picked it up a lot quicker than that. Frustrating. The frustrations of VAR. The justice of VAR, yes, he was offside. But this frustration of not being able to celebrate a goal. Corner to United. Oh, he's given a free kick on Rashford. Well, a lot of people in the comments are saying what a finish, and I totally agree. The finish was fantastic, but it means nothing. We know that Mason Greenwood can do that, but it means absolutely nothing because it's not been given. A lot of people giving Fred love in the live comments. What do you think about Dean Henderson, says Patio? I don't really think about him when I'm watching a football match where he's not playing, to be honest. He's the only one. He's the one player with Martial close behind him that I don't doubt when he's in that position, says Daniel Luciano. And in possession, Fred's playing as a third centre-back. Way too deep, says Sean Finity. Pogba's ball. Oh, nearly. Lay Bruno in. Oh, what is that from Rashford? Bloody hell. Rashford's distribution's been shocking tonight. Really bad. I've got the T-shirt on, Marcus. I tell you what, I don't think Rashford's played well this half. I don't think Martial's played well this half. I don't think Bruno's played well this half. I think Pogba's played well. I think Fred's played well. I think Greenwood's been a bit quiet, but when you get him, he's shown what he can do if you give him a chance. I think the fullbacks have been not good enough. Maguire and Baye have done okay, but the width has been poor. Well, look, what a header that is by Pogba. Oh, look at Bruno again. Terrible. 0-0 half-time is not Ollie's fault. The players is not precise enough, says Chelsea. I'd agree with Chelsea on that. I think that a lot of this is down to the players. Some of the bad touches that we've seen, especially in the final third. Swap the T-shirt at half-time. I might swap the T-shirt at half-time. I think that's going to be half-time. And it is half-time. So we stop the clock. Stop the clock. And look, I just don't... What needs to change is what I would say, and I just think that realistically, just as we had towards the end of the season, we just look a little bit out of ideas, which is surprising. But look, the excuse could well be there because we haven't played for a couple of weeks. But I think that I just think that, you know, apart from the goal by Greenwood, which was fantastic, which was not given because he was offside, we've not created enough. And you look at what you've got: Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Mason Greenwood. They should be doing far more with the ball. We've had enough of the ball around the final third, but they should be doing more. Also, I don't think Williams and Wan-Bissaka are providing anywhere near enough support on the flanks. I think we're having to play down the middle a lot. We're very predictable. We miss Luke Shaw massively, and we miss Wan-Bissaka of a month ago massively. Unfortunately, Wan-Bissaka just doesn't seem to me to be the player that he was. Maybe that's tiredness, overplayed, I don't know. And, you know, Brandon Williams, I think he's a good player, and I think he's got, you know, good intentions. I'd probably like to see him playing at right back more than left back, but he just doesn't provide the width. I think that when you look at Luke Shaw before the injury, you just have this vision of a left-footed player who bombs on, who takes the ball on his left foot, and it just brings balance to the team that we just don't have at the moment. Rashford needs to pass better, sorry to say, says United till I die. And Fred's always dropping in to make a third centre-back, leaving Pogba on his own and limited options passing forward, leading to slow, boring build-up, says Sam. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a great point. I think that the way that we've approached this game is that Fred's playing very, very deep. I mean, it's something I want to talk about, hopefully not too much in the match reaction, but Fred drops in to make a back three, but then the wing-backs who are just not offering the width. So you're basically playing with a back five. Some person says Fred, to him, is man of the half. Well, you can do your player ratings later on in the second half. You can vote for all those, which we'll cover on the match reaction. But I'm a little bit worried about Manchester United because 45 minutes now, otherwise we're heading into extra time. And, you know, I don't think Copenhagen look like they are going to score, but I'd certainly think that that they're in the game, and Manchester United just need to be a little bit careful because we haven't played well by any means. Flex, can you hear me? Hopefully we'll get Flex on. Williams, man of the match. Don't know what game you're watching, mate. I think he's provided next to no width again. What has been missing for these games? Luke Shaw, says Dane Grayson. And Varela set up Rashford's first goal, Premier League goal versus Arsenal, says Rookith. And I don't understand how every game can be the player's fault. When will the questions be asked of Ollie, says Sam Peavy. I don't know what you think about that, Flex.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It
Did
wasn't
you put it
great
on Ollie,
at all.
or did you put it on the players?
I tweeted I saw a lot of individual mistakes, first of all. Just people giving away the ball, taking too many touches. The movement didn't look great. I see why some people still have this question mark over Ollie's tactics, because I suppose I think they're looking for that consistency in breaking teams like this down, and we don't really see it. We don't see it consistently. It's not like every time our team has a good plan against us, we always put them to the sword. But we will start to create chances. But I wasn't all in on criticising Ollie, because I did see a lot of just poor decisions. I mean, Fred started off well, but I actually got them mixed up, him and Bailly. But it was actually Fred who gave away the ball for that good chance that Copenhagen had. Harry Maguire tried to play it out to the wing. It was too high for Brandon Williams, went out of play. Wan-Bissaka, a couple of little touches, just little bits of just sloppiness. Bruno over-hitting it slightly. Rashford, just Martial not quite getting it into his feet and, you know, shifting it quick enough, and little bits of individual errors, I would say, and also our whole tempo just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. But towards the end of the half, I think we started to do better. I mean, Greenwood's looked bright when you're getting him on the ball, and I think Bailly's passes into midfield between the lines into the midfielder's feet has actually been okay on a couple of occasions as well. But width-wise, like from the fullbacks, Brandon Williams has got into a good couple of positions and maybe checked back when he should have crossed it first, and Wan-Bissaka one good cross across the box actually, but not the service that we need. So just in entirety, we just need a lot more. We need to be quicker. We need to be sharper, and we just need to start playing quicker. We're playing too slow, man.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I'm absolutely honest. I think that his performance as a coach hasn't really... I think there are aspects to it. I think the wing play is terrible. I think dropping Fred in as a third centre-back and then the full-backs are offering nothing going forward is a problem. But then you would also say, I mean, Charles Crane says Pogba man of the match. There's not a player that stands out as man of the match for me. I know you have to give one, but I don't think that's good enough. As an attacking side, we've created very little, and I think that's down to the players. I think Martial, Rashford especially, Bruno as well, poor. You know, Bruno and Rashford have been really poor, and their final ball has been poor. There just seems to be, I don't know, they just don't seem to be switched on. I don't really understand why. I don't know whether it's the 2-week gap. I don't know whether it's that we're already in the Champions League or we're already on holiday, but they don't seem to be as focused as I thought they would be. They almost need a kick up the backside.
Yeah, and a little bit into what you were saying, which was, you know, that the manager could have been bluffing and playing them down a lot. You know, they have set up quite well. You know, they are confident. They are having a low block, saying, okay, have it. We you know, that stat there that Ian Dart was saying, they haven't conceded many goals. They haven't conceded more than one goal in a game. So maybe a little bit of, you know, I'll hold my hands up. I was like, nah, we should be okay with these, even their own manager saying it. But you did allude to the fact it could be a little bit of a ploy. And, you know, and on top of that, like their manager said, we need Manchester United to be not quite at it as well. And he's getting both of those things right now. We probably could have done without half time, though, at that you know, moment. We were actually coming into it slowly. Still not at our sparkling best. Bruno, I haven't really seen anything of. He's not really been in the game at all. We can't get him in the game. So, you know, that could be tactical. You know, why are we not able to get these players on the ball in them positions? But like you said there, most of what I'm seeing is just individual errors. So I mean, just sloppy, really sloppy. Making mistakes when there's not even really pressure on, just sloppy.
I mean, people are talking about an Anthony Martial penalty appeal. What a finish that was by Greenwood as well, but he was miles offside. The Martial penalty, I don't think would have been given anyway, because Harry Maguire's actually on offside when the cross when he heads it across. So I don't know what we're moaning about that. I actually thought there was a ball where Martial got it in the box to his feet, and it could have been penalty, but I haven't seen.
They did like a really quick check, and they just didn't even.
Yeah. So look, this is tournament football. I didn't expect United to go and win 3 or 4-0. I didn't expect that. I think that was disrespectful to Copenhagen to think that could happen. I fancied 2-0. And I think United, although people will say Copenhagen threatened us, and I think they have, I just don't feel that they've got the quality in the final third. And I think United have. And I think in the second half, that's what we need to look at. I mean, some people are saying bring Chong on at left back. I do feel that was a bit of a weird cameo. I don't think Chong is a left back, so I wouldn't be talking about that. But
with that, though.
Would you make any change? Would you make? I'm just going to pop to the toilet, so I'll leave you to speak to them for a minute. But would you make any changes in the second half?
Not yet. Nah, not yet. I wouldn't. I would see how it goes for the first 10 minutes of that half. I think it's easy to say oh look, Matic is not there, so that's why we're not dominating this team. But I think there was enough in that towards the end of the half to see us start growing in confidence and to see people. Sometimes it's not even a personnel change; it's just about the 11 players on the pitch actually taking accountability for their own performances. To be honest with you, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Once we started to move the ball quicker and find gaps and spaces, we looked, a little bit more dangerous. I'm just looking through back there at the replays, guys. I'm sure you guys can see the fact that we actually defended well is what's got us out of trouble, really, because Copenhagen got into some dangerous situations. Brandon Williams with a header, pretty much on his goal line. Eric Bailly sniffing out the danger. Fred, I don't know what he's thinking there. I literally thought it was Bailly because of the position he was in, but it wasn't. He gets back well and then gets sat on his arse. And again, Harry Maguire steps up. So we've actually defended pretty well. But I wouldn't change it yet. But when it gets down to it, 10, 15 minutes in, and there's no clear change, you are going to look at it and like, right, okay, in midfield, you are going to bring in Matic. That's the obvious one. James, nah. I wouldn't look to bring him in for no reason. And as for this Chong at left back, rubbish. No, not at all. But Rashford looks, I don't know, he just looks a little bit off it at the moment, man. I don't know what it is. It's like he's turned into the last sort of 3 or 4 games I've noticed about Rashford is like he's not really taking people on. He's more kind of stopping, checking, and then looking to play someone in and be that provider, which there's nothing wrong with creating chances for others. But I'd like to see him be a little bit more greedy, a little bit more, do you know what I'm saying? A little bit more ruthless in terms of he wants to actually get at people. For me, that's what I want to see Rashford do. I haven't really seen him do that in the last few games. So yeah, people saying about Lingardinho. Lingard could have been a game for him. At the end of the day,
it might be.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. I did say, as you just went, I said I wouldn't change it for now. I'll leave it for 10 minutes because I think there was some signs there towards the end of the game that the end of the half that we were coming into it. But you would look at Matic. In terms of it's the obvious one because it's the only big change we've made to the team. But yeah, on the Lingard situation, I wouldn't bring him in now, but it could be later on to exploit spaces and a little bit of energy. I said Dan James. With this team playing a low block, I can't really see him being involved as of yet. Maybe
this is why we need signings, isn't it? Because when the big players don't turn up, then you go to the bench and you're talking about Jesse Lingard and all the chances he's had, Andreas Pereira, Odi Nagalo, Juan Mata, Dan James. I mean, this is why we need more than Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. Which is the conversation that we've been having so much, and this is just another example of why. But I was saying as well, Mark, before you come back, Rashford just seems
he just can't get it together, can he?
He doesn't want to go at people though. It's almost like he's almost doing like a I don't want to compare him to Alexis Sanchez, but like you see that stop and just look inside every time to play someone in. I just want to see a bit of ruthless from him in terms of aggressiveness, like getting at his man, twisting him up, getting into the box. I just feel he's playing a bit reserved right now.
He's a fantastic player, there's no doubt about that. But I think sometimes Rashford's almost suffering from his own hype. It's like it's almost like he tries to play this take 4 players out of the game pass, or just do the simple thing.
He doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to do it. And, that's just I'm only singling him out because I've just noticed that he's not playing any worse than anyone else.
I think him and Bruno are the biggest disappointment. So let's share the load because I've not been happy with Bruno and he's my favourite player. So, and Martial's not been fantastic, although I don't think he's been as bad as those two. So look, there's nothing wrong with sharing the load and saying that players haven't been good enough. We like these players, but yeah, I think Rashford needs to simplise it. I mean, Bruno needs to play 8 next. Pogba, they can feed off each other while we're playing down the flanks when we can't even control the midfield, says Joshua. Bring Matic on for Williams and Fred as left back, says William NG. Chong would look like Roberto Carlos at left back in comparison to Williams, says Joshua Harper. Do you think Rashford is worried about getting injured again, like Luke Shaw? Is it psychological, says United Till I Die? Mark, if we get Willian, Coutinho and Zaha, I think that's more impressive than Sancho, but I hope you get Sancho, says Zayn Miasu. There you go. That's all you got to talk about if you're an Arsenal fan, innit? Transfers. Crap transfers as well. But, I mean, look, I've said this before, I think we really do miss Luke Shaw, and I think Wan-Bissaka's not playing particularly well at the moment, and I think we do miss Luke Shaw for that balance. Whatever people think about him, we do miss that balance. Brandon is very right-footed.
Yeah, the balance isn't there. he does like to check back onto that right foot. He is good at going on the overlap. I'll give him that. Every time Rashford gets it in a decent position, I do see him kind of being aggressive in his runs to try and get beyond, but we're just not really using it, and it's not really materialising. But we're not really getting him on the ball, and he's not like you were saying there. He's going to want to check back. He's not just going to skip past his man and whipping an amazing cross with his left foot very often, anyway. So definitely, our fullbacks need to do more, especially when Robbie Savage, touched on it as well. That and you said there, Mark, if you're going to drop Fred back into that position to pick up, as like a third centre back, pick the ball up, etc. Let them two go. Let them two push on. They should be bombed on both sides, giving the opposition defence a big thing to worry about, and we're not doing that.
No, I think that I do think I don't think Brandon Williams is a bad player. I don't think he's become.
No, he's not a bad player.
I just think he's a right back, and I think that I think look, a young player comes in, and the same thing will happen with Greenwood. You'll start to see some things in his game that you didn't want to see before because you're just so in love with this exciting young player. And I think with Brandon Williams, when he first came in the scene in January, everyone was like, oh, he's fantastic. Oh, he's a breath of fresh air.
That's what I say, breath of fresh air. Yeah.
But now Luke Shaw's not there and you get to see Brandon Williams every game, you start to see more that he's a right-footed left-back, and actually there are some good things about what he does, but you're asking a player who to me is predominantly right-footed to play out of position. I think he's, as a right-back, if Luke Shaw was fit, I'd be almost tempted to drop Wan-Bissaka for Brandon Williams to give us a bit of a balance, because I don't think Wan-Bissaka going forward is fantastic, but we've got what we've got. I mean, who else can you play in those positions at the moment?
Yeah, exactly. And Fosu Mensah, he's got his limitations in terms of, he might be more comfortable at right back, and he might be stronger than Brandon in terms of physically, but in terms of going forward, he doesn't offer anything. I think Brandon offers more than him. But we did have Dennis Owen, who did do that. But listen, let's stay steady here. Brandon's way off that. So yeah, I can see the players coming out now. I'm a little bit behind you. So
what's happening second half then, Flex? You fancy it? We're going to get it over?
Yeah, of course, we've got to remain confident. But if we don't step it up, though, could be in a bit of trouble. But we need to step it up. And I want to see us less sloppy. I can see Bruno talking to Martial there. I think Bruno needs to worry about getting himself on the ball and trying to get himself going, because we just haven't been at it. But I do fancy it. It looks like it's going to be narrow, though. It might be only a 1-0 here.
All right, mate. Well, we'll see you on the fan cams, hopefully, unless there's extra time, and I'll get you on just before extra time. But,
nice one.
Thanks for coming on, pal. Speak to you in a bit.
Cool. See you in a bit.
Follow Flex on Twitter @FlexUTD. A few super chats here. We have kicked off. Rashford doesn't anticipate receiving the ball, doesn't make runs through the ball, bad touch at times, doesn't get into the penalty area, poor in the air, says Luke A. Pretty damning assessment of Marcus Rashford there. I just think Rashford's a good player. I think since his injury, we've not seen the real Rashford, but we will at some point. Kevin Drake, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I couldn't see Ollie's tactics. Flex is right. There should be a consistency in the way we break down teams. If we do it in a new way for every goal, you wonder if players are doing what they want, says Devala. Bruno acting like Ozil off the ball, throwing his hands in the air and shaking his head at teammates. Referee, something I noticed and I don't like it, says Dylan from Cork. Ninja Smith United, if you look at the lack of creativity from the flanks, do you think maybe move to a 4-4-2 diamond to get Matic on for Rashford to hold the midfield and have Pogba, Fred box to box and Bruno as a cam? Well, let's see how we get on in the second half. I certainly would like to see Fred not dropping into the back three so much and starting to push forward a little bit, because we're trying to hit them on the break. I watched Bayern yesterday playing quick forward passes. The team has to have the initiative to create spaces for each other and hold on to the ball, says Rupin. Luke Shaw is so underrated, says Danny Struland. And hi, says Matteo. Okay, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're 200 subscribers away from 791,000 on that road to 800k. Copenhagen have got a free kick here to whip it into the box and get that out of my ear. But an opportunity for them to whip across in for Copenhagen. But, I did say this before the game. This is tournament football, and I felt it would be tournament football. Tight. Nervy. Wish we could do business like Liverpool, put in a bid for Jamal Lewis, got knocked back and wrapped up the signing of Costas Tomiskas. Job done, says Marcus Makeda Fisher. There you go. Enchanted said it's kind of a boring game. Yeah, but it's in Stoke at home, is it? It's a quarter-final of the Europa League. It's a quarter-final of the Europa League. That's what I would be saying to the players, actually, because I'll say it to all you lot. It's the quarter-final of the Europa League. We win this and we're playing a semi-final on Sunday. United need to... It's been such a lacklustre first half. Need to grab hold of it a little bit. Don't know if you've talked about it, but what do you think about the Telles rumours, says Nick Lopez. I don't think there's anything in it at the moment. It's a foul on Martial. Very physical team, Copenhagen. You'd expect that. Pogba fouled on the edge of the box. Don't think the referee's going to give it. Rashford, lovely turn. Cut it back, cut it back, cut it back. Yes, Bruno, why didn't you hit it first time? Pogba, curler. Oh, good block, and it's got to be a corner. It's a goal kick. Better. But again, the two players for me in the first half who've not been that good, Rashford taking too long and Bruno taking too long. Why didn't Bruno hit it? Why is Rashford, after all that great skill, not playing a quicker ball? They seem to want to pick the perfect pass, and in football you've got to be quicker. And it was a goal kick. But a better start from United. Nice peppermint tea there. Mark, the way Fred's drops deep is exactly how Matic plays like a third centre-back. Ollie wants this clearly, but I don't think it's necessary, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. I love it. A pumpkin spice latte. It always makes me think of Halloween. I don't... Oh, Rashford's in. But he's gonna be way over on the left-hand side. Better ball. Goes for a goal kick. No, I don't like it. Dylan from Cork. Bruno's not been brilliant, but the best thing about him is he never lets his head drop. Rashford taking too long on the ball, needs to release it faster. Fabrizio has come out with another Sancho update, says Shakuba on CBS Sports. You're not going to tell us what it is. Bruno on the edge. United have definitely started off better this second half, which is good to see. Bit of a kick up the backside. And goal kick. Peppermint tea. Peppermint tea. Peppermint tea. Come on, Rashford. Do the penalty some just. Do the t-shirt. Fred for Matic before disaster. We can't have players that need 4 to 5 games before quality, says Chelsea. I think Fred is definitely the divider in this conversation chat today. I don't think Fred's been terrible. And I don't think changing Fred for Matic is going to make us a better attacking side. DC United would beat this United team today, says Ivan. We definitely need to go up a gear. Still 2-1, Leverkusen Inter. The starters have to win the game. The bench is not good enough to do it. Only feasible change I see is Matic for Fred, says Jimmy G. And he's also talking about the Sancho deal. And welcome to John Oric Olsen, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Too many touches on the ball again. You know, Matic might not be on the pitch, but I think we need to be a bit critical of the amount of touches everybody's taking on the ball. Good interception by Fred there. Bruno. Again. Nice ball into Martial. Good work by Martial there. Rashford. Bit better by United, a little bit more direct, a little bit more purposeful. Oh. It's my birthday tomorrow. Come on, United, says Alec Williams. Happy birthday to tomorrow, Alec. And just lit myself a shisha because it's going to be a long night, says the contrarian. Does Williams slip you lot brown envelopes or what? Flex has just said that he's good at overlapping. Has he ever watched the lad, says Joshua Harper. Brandon Williams might be getting a yellow card here. No, he's not. It's just a throw in. I think he might have injured himself. Remember, you can vote for your player ratings. We'll be getting that up for you soon. Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. I do think if United can just get a goal, that will be game over. Could even be 1-0. Dodgy penalty, somebody just said there. Embarrassing to watch, Mark. I wouldn't say that. Nice ball by Fred. Greenwood tackled. That was Bruno, actually, coming in from the left-hand side. I used to do that as a kid. I used to think I was a car. Fred, shoot straight at the keeper. Doesn't sound like a car, it just sounds like a dying swan. I think it'll end 2-0, says Amos. That was my prediction. I do think United just need to score and get through. I'd hate to go out to Copenhagen because I just think it would be embarrassing. If we get embarrassed by Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-final, then I just want to see us play somebody good. I think Fred's doing quite well, you know. Martial, get up. It's got to be a foul on Martial. If Arsenal finish higher than you next season, you wear a shirt saying Mark is a prat for a week, and if you finish higher, I'll donate 1k to charity of your choosing, says Amy Assey. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. So United have been a bit better this first 10 minutes of the second half. They couldn't have been much worse. Bruno's getting on the ball a little bit better. Pogba, switch it. Lovely ball. Wan-Bissaka on the right. The Gala on for Rashford. Put Martial on the left, says Rudy. And Alec Williams sounded like a classic motorbike to me, says Alec Williams. Mark, you and your minions. I don't know what you're on about. And Liam Benton says, are you trying to trigger us, Mark? Fred's not playing well. I think I said it in the first half. Fred's been a bit of a divider. But you can see the three at the back there in the width. If we're going to use this width, it's got to be decent width. Greenwood. Oh, he's at the post. Rashford! He's offside. What a hit by Greenwood again. Oh, Jesus. He's at the post. Hits the post. His finishing is just so good, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that's literally should be 1-0 up there. Greenwood's probably my man of the match because both the chances he's had have been excellent finishes. One hitting the inside of the post, the other one he was offside for, but it was a great finish. Copenhagen have made a sub here. Fred. The kid's accuracy is out of this world. Can't wait to watch him play a full season, says Ninja Smith United. Nice ball there by Harry Maguire and Bruno and Fred. This could be a good goal. Oh, Greenwood. Bad pass. And then he gives a foul away. I feel there's a goal coming. Some physicality might help us up front. Get a Gala one, says the Grey Jimmy. I mean, Copenhagen aren't really offering much. Let's see, Fred, that's good again. Greenwood. Oh, he was probably offside, but the linesman didn't give it. Clever ball by Bruno. That was fantastic by Fred again there. He's growing into the game. This is the thing about Fred, though. We've said it so many times before, haven't we, with Fred? He's a player that gets better with the more games he plays, and he's a player that's getting better in this game the more minutes he plays. Be interested to see what Ollie's subs are going to be. It's going to be one of those nights for United as the contrarian. Well up by Pogba again. He's won so many headers. I think Pogba's had a good game. Oviedo's on for Copenhagen. Yeah, good charging down by Rashford. Move the ball quick. Nice to Bruno. Have a look. Have a look, Bruno. Oh, it's the old FIFA turn. Gets a corner. I do think he'll bring Lingard on, but I just don't know who he'll bring Lingard on for. Come on, Bruno. Find Harry's head. Nope. It's Fred. Bruno. Rashford. Nice little bit of play now. More confident moving of the ball. Fred. Wan-Bissaka. Give it to Bruno. Give it to Bruno. Give it to Bruno Pogba. That's the ball. What a ball into Rashford. Oh. That could have been a cracking goal. Got him through, but it lands on his left foot and he just doesn't connect well. Cut back, Copenhagen, terrible shots, and Romero gets hold of it. Could have been a goal. Do you think Greenwood would be that good with another manager? Greenwood's blooming is an Ollie, some of it, says Chelsea. Definitely. Yellow card to Fred. Sorry to nab on about Fred, but if the results don't go our way, he'll be scapegoated for sure, especially by Ricky and Adam on the United Sands, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. I think Fred's done quite well tonight. A few people getting on Rashford's back. I think he's been better this half. Oh, Harry Maguire's been booked for a foul off the ball, not Fred. I think that if United were playing a better team tonight, they would get beat. Still 2-1 in the other game. Williams. Oh, I tell you what, could have been a bloody penalty there. I tell you what, if I'm the Copenhagen player, I'm going down there. I'm going down quicker than somebody on holiday. But no, a little bit reckless from Brandon, but he got away from it. Got away with it. The game's starting to get a little bit stretched now, which hopefully will play into our hands. Pogba to Greenwood to Bruno. Is it the post as well? Bloody hell. Good hit by Bruno. It's the post from miles out. What a hit. Some would say don't shoot from there, Ricky, but it's a lovely hit. Oh, inside of the post again. United doing better. Here's Fred. Cross comes in. They'll get rid of it. We've got to keep the foot on the pedal here. Oh, Eric Bailly. Clumsy. And he'll get booked as well. Yellow card. Both centre-backs on a card, says here we go. Yeah, they're both on a yellow card, actually. You're right. So Bruno hits the inside of the post. Greenwood hits the inside of the post. United still at 0-0. Still about half an hour to go in this, but we don't want extra time. I presume it goes to extra time. We don't want to concede either, actually. Well, look at that from Pogba again. Good play. Martial has been quiet this half, says Mark Whitten. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Martial off for Igalo. I think a few people have mentioned that. What do you think about this knockout format, says the Grey Jimmy? I mean, it's not ideal, but it's because of the COVID, isn't it? You can't have 2 legs and get the season done, so they've had to do it like this. Well played, Wan-Bissaka there. Bruno, nice little turn. Martial doesn't read it. Is that a bad game tonight, Tony? They have made so many fouls on United, not one yellow. This is pretty dodgy, says Ninja Smurf United. Switch it up. A lot of people in the live comments saying switch it up, but who do you switch it up for? Lindelof for Bay and Fred for Matic, says Chelsea. I don't think that would make a massive difference to the team, though, would it? I mean, it can do. But what a turn. What a block by Wan-Bissaka. I tell you what, Williams just got sent back to the youth team. He was talking about it yesterday. Good tackle, Eric Bay. I tell you what, that skill on Brandon Williams. He just absolutely made him... Well, we could have been 1-0 down there. But here comes Bruno. Let's move. Let's use this. Let's use it. Let's use it. He's going to have to go himself. Bruno. Ah, Bruno. What a crap pass that is. Remains 0-0. The game is getting stretched. It's almost like Copenhagen feel that this is their opportunity to get a goal and then hold on to the game. But United, it's time for Lings, says Josh Dyer. I don't know where you'd put him on, though. If you bring Lingard on, you've got to take Bruno off. Or Greenwood off. Or Rashford off. Bay's going to get sent off if we don't sub him, says Chelsea. Well, I hope you're going to be wrong on that one. Bruno is frustrating, but you don't take a player like Bruno off in a game you're trying to win. And remember, I don't think Ollie will make many subs because he's seen that those subs can, make us worse, not better. So, Bay's better than Maguire if he keeps fit, says Joshua Bowater. I'm so bored of watching this United team play, says Luca. We should be doing so much better than we are. It's frustrating, making mediocre teams look like Barcelona. Well, no, I think you've got to put a little bit of respect on Copenhagen. I don't think they're not Lask, like I said. They're not terrible. Fred, Bruno, better. Pogba, Greenwood. Bruno's going to shoot again. Good shot. Keeper palms it out. Rashford. In the box. Brandon Williams goes for the 1-2. Pogba shoots. Straight at the keeper. Getting closer. Closer. Get the goal and the game's done. There's Bruno on the right-hand side. Pogba. Into Martial. Into Pogba. Blocked. Better. This is better from United in the final third. Williams. Fred. Feed Williams. Feed Pogba. Oh, why didn't Bruno want that? Look how many men Copenhagen have got behind the ball, though. Bruno. It's a Fred. Give it to Pogba first time. Yeah. Maguire. Ooh. Here's Pogba. Needs his runners. Oh, Martial. Oh. Just frustrating is the word. Evening, just Jackler. 70 minutes. You'd feel that Ollie might be making a sub around this time. He is. It's Matic for Fred. What a lot of you wanted. And it's Lindelof for Bailly as well. What a lot of you wanted. So, interesting subs. So Matic for Fred and Bailly for Lindelof. The two players that were expected to start the game come on. We're having a drinks break again. Let's have a look what's going on in the other game. Still 2-1. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. You feel that United goal's coming. We're 70 subscribers away from 791,000. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. And watch this skill by Falk. Oh my god. At least Williams didn't dive in. I think sometimes, you know, if that had happened to me, I would have chopped him on the way through and then it's a penalty. So I would give Williams some credit there because he did get absolutely skilled in the penalty box by Falk. And it's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? But these things happen. Dan James says Alec Williams. The trouble is, who do you take off for Dan James? Who do you take off for Jesse Lingard? Who do you take off for Igalo? You're going to take Martial off? I wouldn't. You're taking Greenwood off? I wouldn't. You're going to take Bruno off? I wouldn't. I mean, Rashford, I don't think Ollie does. Maguire gets a 2 or 3 from me about as useful as Stevie Wonder in a game of I Spy, says Joshua Bowater. He's not messing about there. Matic to score a screamer, says Gemma Gowan. And bye-bye. Goal in the 86th minute, says Quacked. Remember, you can do your player ratings. I will open that up for you very, very soon. So you can go to the website and get your votes in for the match reaction. So basically what we do is, Camille says, we don't create patterns of play in the build-up to allow Mason to get on the ball. We always play to our left and it's frustrating, or Bissaka is too slow to play to him. What we do on our website for every Manchester United game now is we do player ratings. We've always done that where I give my mark out of 10. But now when I give my mark out of 10, it shows me what you've given because you get to vote on our website each player out of 10, 6 being average and 7 being better than average and 5 being below average and so on. You can vote for every player who's been on the pitch and the manager so that in the match reaction when I'm doing mine and I'm clicking the numbers, it will tell me what your aggregated score is for each player. So it's very accurate and it's very interactive, which is what we are on the United Stand. So please subscribe if you're new. Copenhagen have a chance here. They're on the far side. Cross doesn't come in yet. Wan-Bissaka blocks it. They just lack quality in the final third, don't they? It is 32 degrees there, Roy Keane. It's a very good point. Very hot. Lyle says if we lose this, what's going to happen to us in the Champions League? I mean, it's not normal to... Oh, Rashford again. Why didn't he take a touch? Well, they put the ball out for Rashford there, and I think they're generous. He has hurt himself, though. He's clutching the back. We don't want this to be anything special. Maybe a few players we could sign from Copenhagen, says also. I wouldn't go that far. Rashford's up. 74 minutes. What we think in extra time? I really hope not. I really, really hope not. But if you are thinking that, it's probably not an inaccurate feeling. Yellow card here for a foul on Brandon Williams by Kaufman. Probably been coming, that. They've been quite rough today. Yeah, it's a nasty little foul, that, actually. 74 minutes. Rashford trying to be a little bit more direct there, which is what people want him to be. Williams into Bruno. Ooh, that's not going to make Wan-Bissaka. Oh, dear me. Not good enough. Not good enough. Conte's had a yellow card. Still 2-1. Very stop-start game. I don't think the referee could have had much of a say in it, but it has been very stop-start. But you do feel that United probably have made a bit of a mountain out of a molehill today. I think if they'd got a goal, they'd be through. And I know that sounds like a very obvious statement, but I just don't think Copenhagen have the quality in the final third. But then again, that's maybe going to be my famous last words, because they are starting to be a little bit more progressive in this half as they approach the box. Watch out, Williams. Cross is going to come in. Get rid of it. I can't swallow this. Here's Rashford bringing it away. That's a yellow card as well. At least Rashford's been a little bit more direct. That's good to see. Definitely yellow card. Here we go. Turn, Greenwood, turn. Into Rashford, into Bruno. Williams is the ball. Was always the ball. Bruno. Pogba on the edge. Trying to be a little bit clever here. Just find a pass. Oh. Trying to be a little bit too clever. Matic. Greenwood. Pogba. It's all a little bit too easy for them at the moment because it's just this... camped on the edge of the box with 12 minutes to go. Dylan from Cork. Ollie won't be happy with this. Was always going to be a tough game, but as a tough Wolves, Sevilla or Inter, it's too sluggish. Robbo says, what has happened to this team? It's become bang average again. So many below par performances. Honestly, as not playing well could be a blessing in disguise. Puts more pressure on the club to pay up for Sancho, says Joshua Bowerwater. It all comes back to Sancho. Feels like we're flying back to UK in 10 minutes at least. Hope there will be a make a stop on Switzerland, says Sergei Mamadov. We need to step it up. Late winner. I'm going with a late winner in this. For United, obviously. But 10 minutes to go. I think he's going to have to make a change. I know he doesn't want to make a change. And I think that there will be some frustration about that in the Manchester United fan base as to why he hasn't made a change, but I think he's going to have to, because I understand why he wants to keep Bruno and Martial and everybody else on. You know, I agree with that, but you know, a Lingard or an Ighalo, they might just provide something that the others have not been able to provide. I know it's a risk. I don't know whether I'd be taking Bruno off, because I think the quality of Bruno in a game like this is majorly important. But 10 minutes to go. Cometh the man, cometh the hour. Cometh the last 10 minutes. And here is Copenhagen on the break. It's a nice little ball. Williams, don't commit. No, well. Referee says no penalty. I hope that doesn't get reviewed. I don't think it will be a clear and obvious mistake. But he did go down. Nervy times here. Really nervy times. 10 minutes to go. Martial. Nice ball out to Greenwood. Continue the run, Tony. Greenwood. Bruno's on the edge. Bruno on the edge is the ball there. Every day of the week. Well, here's the Brandon Williams thing. Nah, it's not a penalty. It gets caught by Greenwood, but it's not a deliberate. There's nothing. I don't think you could give a penalty for that. In my opinion, maybe others would differ. Come on, I feel that there's a late winner in this game. I feel we'll get a chance. Last 10 minutes of a game in Europe that we need to win. I feel we'll get a chance. Oh, Rashford, silly shot. Right, you can start voting for your player ratings if you want to. I've put the link in the video description for you. All you've got to do is go to the website, mark every player out of 10. And then when you've done all the way down to Ollie, put a star on the player that you want to be man of the match, and then it will say you can submit your score. That's how you do the player rating. So link in the video description. It will take you to the United Stand website. You can mark every player out of 10, including Ollie, and then you go and pick the player that's your man of the match by putting a star there. And yeah, that's how it works. So link in the video description for that. It's going to be interesting what people want to give, because I think after a really good few weeks after lockdown, I think the final few weeks of the season, and today inclusively, and last week against Lask, there's been a number of poor performances from Manchester United. For me, it's about getting into the draw. Martial, oh, what a save! What a hit! Martial with the R1 finesse finish from the edge of the box. We know he can hit these. It's his signature shot. It's a lovely shot. Just a little bit close to the keeper. If that had been just half a metre to the right, that's in the back of the net. But it's not in the back of the net. It's a corner. In it comes. Nothing doing. Get Rashford off. Lingard masterclass incoming. I think extra time's incoming. 7 minutes to go. A couple of super chats to read. If it goes to pens, who's going to be the Phil Jones then? Says Charlie Bass. God, I've never even thought of that. And Mark, is this concern that people have for next season that we don't have any plan B? Says Krishna. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to write that down for the match reaction. The thing is, you don't want to take Ighalo off. Sorry, you don't want to bring Ighalo on, because then you've got to take Martial off. You don't want to bring Lingard on, because you've got to take Bruno off. You don't want to bring Dan James on, because you've got to take Greenwood off. You know, you're automatically taking off a decent player to do it. I think that's the concern, isn't it? So I get it. I do get it. Just going to show everybody now. If you go to the link in the video description, this is the player ratings. Hold on. Over the bar. Link in the video description for the player ratings. It will take you to this page. You just go down for your player ratings. You start marking your players out of 10. So if I give him a 6, we've had a couple of 100 votes on there already. So you see, as soon as you vote, it will tell you what everybody else is voting. Oh, what the fuck's that? Yeah, so it's every player out of 10, 6 being average, 10 being superb, 1 being total shit. And then all the way down, put a star next to your man of the match. All the way down, give everyone a mark, including Ollie. And then when you put your star next to your name, it will say submit your score, which you can do. So links in the video description for that. And we are looking like extra time. Chelsea says, on more problem as well if the subs Rashi or Bruno, who's going to take the pens then? Chong or Williams, says Chelsea Houseland. It's looking like it's going to be extra time here. Here's Bruno. I'd love us to win it late on. Rashford on the left. Not had a great game. Goes to Bruno. Brocked. Copenhagen are going to park everything on this bus now. Matic. Can we get one more chance? Can we get one good chance? Prime example of the need for quality on the bench. Says Russell Thompson. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on, sir. Wan-Bissaka. Got to move the ball a little bit quicker here. Pogba's the ball. Pogba's the ball. Yeah. Greenwood's the ball. Ah, he's kept it. Well done there. It was a little bit of a stray pass from Pogba. Martial, cross it back, cut it back. What sort of cross is that from Wan-Bissaka? What a stupid cross. He gets into a great position and volleys it across like, oh my God. What do they teach you at crossing school? Just cut it back. If you cut it back and no one's there, you've done your job. But don't volley it across the bloody goal like that. What a crap cross that is. God, we miss Luke Shaw. Not good enough, no excuses for this, says Platinum Star 95. So I haven't stretched my back out at all. Score in the other game. I think it's 2-1 to Inter still. Yeah, 2-1. Only a minute to go. Inter will be in the semis. Well, United be there with them. Yeah, you can do your player ratings, but those player ratings may well be changing in extra time. Matic. We're going to be into stoppage time in a minute. Oh, crap ball. 30 plus Celsius, low energy and a general low skill match this. Needs something special now, says Strutson. Well, to be honest with you, the extra time might actually do us some good because we've looked amazingly unsharp in this game. But 3 minutes added on. Pogba into Martial to Wan-Bissaka. Pass 1. Pass 2. Pass 3. Oh! What a tackle! Martial nearly scored an absolute worldie there. And the tackle had to be well timed. He just picked it up on the edge of the box and went past 3 players. What a run by Martial. Oh, it's a great tackle. It's a great tackle because it would have been a bloody brilliant goal. Would have been world class. Two minutes left. That's why you don't sub Anthony Martial, I suppose. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. I presume we've probably hit 191,000 subscribers now. Yes, 791, thank you. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. It looks like we're heading for extra time here. Get Ollie on. Maguire misses the header. Falk skills Brandon Williams again. Well, the ball's going to end up with Copenhagen here. Good tackle by Maguire, but they're on the attack at the end of this half. Just shoots it over. So we're definitely going to get extra time. Those who wanted Matic, did he really make a big difference? I feel like we have the ball more, but we are at a slower tempo, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. Yeah, I don't know why we brought Matic on, really. I thought Fred, to me, had quite a good game. But from an American, do people in England root for lower league teams as well as Premier League teams, or mainly just Premier League teams? Just wondering. Inter are through. Beating Leverkusen. What's the name of your cat? My wife wants to know, says Chris Jones. Well, it started off as Roxy, but it might well be Rocky now. We thought we had a girl, but there's something going on down there that doesn't look very girlish. So, extra time. Extra time. And imagine if Anthony Martial had won it with that. But we look miles off the pace. Absolutely miles off the pace. So the end of the second half is 0-0. 90 minutes. United have been unable to get the goal. And it remains Manchester United 0. Copenhagen 0. Let's see if we can get Flex on very, very quickly. He might just pop on for us. Disappointing. What are you thinking, everybody? From an American, do people in England root for lower league teams as well as Premier teams, or mainly just Premier League teams? Just wondering, says Dominic Bushin. I don't know. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, really. Some do, some don't. Go on then, Flex. Can you hear me? Penalties incoming, says Joel Morris. And how does everyone see it going? I mean, look, if it goes to penalties, I think Copenhagen are the winners. I don't necessarily think that means they win it, but they'll fancy it. Can you hear me, Flex?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Go on then quickly, because I know we'll be going straight back into it. What's your thoughts on that?
Second half. There looked like a period in that second half where we were getting on top. It looked like the goal was just imminent, really, like it was going to come. A mixture of, is it going to be one of them nights? Plus, we couldn't keep it up. I spoke about earlier, like, I don't think we'll see the players being jaded. They've had 2.5 weeks off, but it's actually been the opposite. The more the game's gone on, the heat's got to them. They look tired. And Copenhagen been defending really well. And you have to say, like Ricky says a lot, sometimes you have to say to the opposition that they've done well in a particular game. Yes, we should have enough to beat them, and we're doing that. But well organised, been difficult to break up, and they've forced us into shots kind of from distance that have been good shots, but not good enough, been hitting the post. So Bruno, just after he hit the post after that, he just kind of wilted, but did well in that little period. I thought Fred was doing fine before he come off. But
that sub to me didn't make a massive amount of difference. And I mean, the Lindelof one for Bay was probably because of the yellow card, but...
Yeah. So, it's just... No, it's a bit nerve-wracking. You just didn't expect to be in this position, did you? I mean, maybe it's all a little bit of naivety from all of us kind of thinking, be a walk in the park. But it just goes to show you that, they're saying in the commentary, they're better than we thought.
I'd be rightly pissed off if we go home, though. I mean, even in my head, I'm still thinking, it's extra time, but we're going to go through. I still don't think there's a part of me, and I don't know what everyone else feels, there's not a part of me that thinks we're going to lose this. And I think that's dangerous because we could lose it. We just got to keep. I thought the second half was better than first half.
It was, and that's the weird thing about this.
Martial nearly scored a worldie.
Yeah, it hasn't been a disgraceful performance. No chances, no shots on target. Couldn't create. It hasn't been as bad as that. First half, before we started coming towards the end of the first half, was like that. It was poor, but I did think we stepped it up big time. And when we didn't get that goal as a reward, it's almost like Copenhagen kind of weathered that storm. And we kind of started running out of ideas after that. So it's going to be tight. You're right. I'm still with you. I'm still feeling kind of confident that we'll get the win. But you're right, though. If they get to penalties, it's massive lottery, isn't it? Okay. Who's that going to be for?
Wow.
Bruno?
I don't know. I wouldn't be. I mean, one matter in 30 degrees. Fucking hell.
It can't be for Bruno. I mean, for Mason, is it? Is it for Mason on the right?
I don't know. I suppose, in fairness to Ollie, it might not be a bad idea because Copenhagen are playing so deep that maybe having a couple of players on the edge of the box who can make things happen. It might.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah,
depends who it's for.
Say that again.
It depends who they're coming on for.
Yeah, it does depend who it's for, but you got to remember it's Bacon out there.
Mason Greenwood.
It is for Greenwood, yeah. So he's young and. I probably wouldn't have done that. But Mata, when he plays with the better players, as Ricky does say, he can create, he can assist.
And it's not normal circumstance. They have played 90 minutes. It's not like Solskjaer's made the changes too early. He's got to try something. Rashford hasn't been at it at all, though, to be fair. Greenwood's been quite good, but I suppose he probably sees it's too much for him. But he's got to try something. It's 90 minutes gone now. It's extra time. And that creativity of Mata and that fresh and calmness of Mata could be exactly what we need to unlock this defence.
I mean, I've just tweeted it there while you're talking. For me, that's the wrong substitution, because the one thing Mason Greenwood has shown in this game is that if you give him a chance, he looks like he's going to take it, whereas Rashford maybe doesn't. But we're off in the second half now, mate. So thanks for popping on.
All right, cool. Nice one.
Catch you in a bit.
Behind. All right, cool.
Follow Flex on Twitter @FlexUTD. So there is a substitution. It is Juan Mata on for Mason Greenwood. I suppose it makes a little bit of sense to have somebody on the edge of the box who can make things happen. I've just kicked a piece of wood under the table and I've got no socks on. Painful. Notice bird's eye view of teams before extra time. Copenhagen grouped in a circle talking tactics. Man United all in little groups with no plan, says Hader Hammond. I mean, to be honest with you, I must say, why would Mata come on for Lingard? Why wouldn't you bring Lingard just to put on the wing for a bit of pace? But we're obviously expecting to be camped on the edge of their half a lot. I don't know. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, get involved with the United Stand. Lots and lots of content at the moment. We never know when we're going to be going live, but we are live at 8 o'clock every night. Also at 10 o'clock in the morning with the latest news. A lot of it focused on Sancho. I think we definitely need Sancho and more based on this performance today. But the players are exhausted. Ollie shouldn't be fully blamed for this. His job is to set the tactics. It shouldn't be his fault if players don't work, says Tave Tapgun. And who do you think would be a good replacement for De Gea? Well, hold on. Martial with the cutback. Ooh, nearly. Goes for a corner. Thanks, Mark. Wish you and your family all the best, says Danny Stuland. And Ninja Smurf United. Rashford should be running at the defence more. Force them to make a foul. They are on yellows. Exactly. I think Martial has clicked on that. Martial's looked very dangerous in the last sort of minutes of the game. That really good shot, good save, good run, another good run there. Here's Bruno, little dink. Come on. I want to be in the semi-final on Sunday. I expect to be in the semi-final on Sunday, but I think I'm starting to get a little bit nervous now, because I'm like, if this goes to penalties, it's not the same penalties, is it? It's pot luck. Martial on the edge. Gives it to Rashford. Oh, bloody hell, Rashford. I hope Rashford's going to score a goal, because I do think he doesn't deserve to be on the pitch, really. I just think Greenwood, unless he's tired, you give Greenwood a shot, you fancy him to take it. Rashford's been shocking. We're playing Copenhagen. Shocking performance. Mata for Greenwood. Taking off one of the leading goal scorers for a donkey. Sancho signing equals top 4 at max next season, says JCS Cape Town. The anger comes in. Here is Martial. Oh, shit. I thought he'd scored. Great run. Good save. Oh, I was ready. I was bloody ready. I was jumping. He goes down. And he's given a penalty. He's given a penalty. Has he given a penalty? He's given a penalty. He's given a penalty. Get in. Martial nearly scores. They clear it. It comes back and Martial goes down. Martial is making things happen here. And he's made a penalty happen for Martial. Brilliant. Martial makes things happen. It's not a penalty for the first one. Ball into Martial from Bruno. Takes it down. I mean, I'm not going to say anything. It's been given. The ref's just reviewing this, but the penalty has been given. Much better from Manchester United in the extra time. And we've got a penalty. Bruno to take it. The check's over. Penalties given. He don't miss these. He don't miss these. He's like me on FIFA. Doesn't miss the penalties. That's what matters on straight away, showing his small area skill works as Ninja Smith United. Well, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno! There we go. Back of the net. Manchester United 1-0. Put your hands on your ears. He doesn't miss those. I've got a cough. It's not COVID. And Manchester United score the goal they need to take them through to the semi-finals. Not there yet. Still 25 minutes of extra time. Shame we couldn't do it in normal time. But it's a definite penalty when they actually show us it back. And Bruno Fernandes, even though the keeper goes the right way, it's a good penalty. He just doesn't miss. Just doesn't miss. Bruno Fernandes makes it 1-0 to Manchester United. And this is why Bruno is so important to United. Again, you'd say he's probably not had a great game. But when the moment comes, that's what the quality's all about. You do, you know, if that's Rashford or that's Pogba, you're a little bit worried about them taking a penalty. But when it's Bruno Fernandes, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in your mind. I tell you what, that is a relief buster, that is. That is an absolute relief buster because it's just been that sort of game. Release. And now Copenhagen. I mean, for me, I know we were doing the player ratings, and you can still do the player ratings through the link in the video description. But I think for the last 20 minutes, Martial's just gone up a level. Juan Mata made both chances happen with a good run and a pass as Jacob Hawkes. And it was right to sub on Mata. Good tactics from Ollie, says Chelsea. A lot of people giving Mata plays, which is good to see. Mata's a donkey, then immediately sets up 2 chances, says Michael Sorter. Juan Mata, instant impact. Someone check on Ricky, says Matt. Ricky's going to explode any moment, Mark. I can't wait for his fan cam. Mata making things happen, says Mark Witten. That's why Mata is on straight away, showing his small area skills, says Ninja Smurf United. Loads of love for Juan Mata. But also, can we just say as well, Anthony Martial just sort of ran out of time in normal time. I think Martial in the last 20 minutes has been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And here is Pogba into Rashford. Copenhagen are going to go for it now. Penchester United is all over Twitter, by the way. We don't care. We don't care about that. Not bothered about that. Some people are saying it was a dive by Martial. I don't think it was. I don't remember if it was. It was a clever one. 2 World Cup winners and a Euros winner on the field. Tournament mentality and experience. Good call from Ollie, says Ninja Smurf United. Of course, I've just realised, you know, you get so involved in the game as a United fan. I've just realised there will be a lot of people staying up late tonight hoping that we're going to blow it. So they'll be absolutely crying about that penalty. But the goal was coming. I think, like, you know, Martial just seemed to go up a gear. Here he is now. Just gone up a gear in the last 20 minutes of the game. Oh, Martial and Mata, they're on a different planet here. Oh, the skills. Absolutely brilliant run by Martial. He couldn't get the shot off. He played it to Mata, who couldn't find its way. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to see. This is why Ollie is somehow... This is why Ollie is somehow justified for not making wholesale changes. Martial and Bruno class shown and deserves to be on the pitch, says Nitin. Exactly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot trust Ighalo or Lingard or Pereira enough to take off a Martial or a Bruno. He can't. He's got to keep them on, and that's what when we talk about squad depth, that's what we mean. These players have got to play 120 minutes because you can't the Dan James, the Lingards, the Ighalos. They just can't give you the quality that those players can. And even if they're having a bad game, then you know. I mean, Martial had a bit of a quiet 70 minutes, and then in the last 20 minutes of the game, in the first 10 minutes of extra time, he's absolutely superb. Like, unbelievable, some of the stuff he's doing. Now we're getting him on the ball. Into Bruno, into Bruno. Rashford's offside, I think. Missed us anyway. I think he was offside. That water is nice. Rashford was miles off. I wouldn't worry about it. Can you say big up to Connor, says Mike. Aye, I can. And Mata is cooler than the other side of the pillow. Cold-blooded attack orchestrator, says Thomas. Well, you can see Ricky's Mata tributes on the fan cams after the game, but Manchester United here heading, not definitely, but certainly 1 foot into the semi-finals. Just get Martial and Mata on the ball. They've been absolutely superb in this extra time. Martial has had a few moments today that remind me so much of Thierry Henry, going at multiple players, making them miss, getting into the danger area, says Daniel Luciano. And my bad not knowing in advance, is this a one-legged game? I thought it was normally two, says Kanak. Yeah, it definitely is one leg, mate. Rashford needs to wake up and see how good Martial is becoming. He's falling behind. His performances are rubbish in comparison, says Robbo FM. I said it at the end of full time. I think that Marcus Rashford is somewhat lucky to be on the pitch. I mean, Lingard, to me, did quite well off the left-hand side against Lask. And, you know, could he do any more? Dortmund tweeted, Jaden smiling, you love to see it, says Spectre. Mate, we're not worried about that. And also, their goalie is class, by the way, says Sergei Mamedov. Well, exactly. Man of the match is Copenhagen goalkeeper. Well, exactly. This is why we didn't want penalties, isn't it? Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. 4 minutes to go of this extra time and first half of extra time. A foul on Brandon Williams. When will fans realise that we had these games under Sir Alex too? On another day we would be 3-0 up and comfortable. Even Liverpool have close games, says John Parashadam. To me, John, dear John, the thing for me is Manchester United getting into the semi-final. We want to be playing on Sunday, don't we? Do you want to be playing Sunday night in a Europa League semi-final? I do. I definitely do. So, you know, and it'll be a bigger test against them on Sunday night. So that's the big thing. Get into the final draw. Links in the video description for something I'm about to show you here. It's our player ratings. If you click the link in the video description, it takes you to the website for the player ratings. Mark each player out of 10 for their performance. Put a star next to your man of the match. Mark every player out of 10 all the way down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager, and then it will say submit your score. When you submit your score, it will go into our algorithm so that when I do my player ratings in my match reaction, it will show me what your average score was from all your votes. So, link in the video description, get over there. Make sure you give every player a marking out of 10. Put a star next to your man of the match, and then submit your score. Martial, Mata! Oh, the link-up play between Mata and Martial has been telepathic. Ollie's just doing his online shopping. Yep, that's it. Booked it. Packed it, booked it. Bean casserole tomorrow night, Michael. Anyway, Manchester United, 1-0 up. We're giddy. We're happy. Nick P says, fun fact, the last man to deny Bruno from the spot was Miguel Suarez during Sporting Lisbon versus Laws in October 2018. Bailey really impressed me tonight. Martial man of the match, but Bay I think is a contender. Shame he came off, says Lee Taylor. Probably the yellow card. Dortmund trying to banter us with their latest tweet. They have triggered me, says Martial FC. Have a look what Dortmund just tweeted. Says Karim Digi. I'll have a look in a minute. United are on the attack here with Rashford. He's got space to run into. Come on, Rashi. Do the t-shirt justice. Lovely ball to Bruno. Didn't get out his feet. Mata. Should be another penalty there. Not given. Come on, ref. Copenhagen are having to go for it. Mata's got to be offside. Let's have a look what they've tweeted. Oh, here we go. Okay. Substitution for Copenhagen. Wolves versus Sevilla watch along. Yeah, I am doing Wolves versus Sevilla watch along tomorrow night on Mark Goldbridge. That's Football. Obviously, it's a very important game to watch. It's who hopefully will be playing in the semi-final. So I'll probably do United Stand a little bit earlier tomorrow night and then jump on to That's Football for a watch along. So join me on Mark Goldbridge That's Football tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for that one. But we've got to get through first. Thank you for Kyle Porter, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can join by clicking the join button. You get a little badge next to your name. We don't do Patreon or anything like that. All our content is free. So thank you for all of your support and all the members who join and your super chats. Really appreciate it. And Kartik says that tweet from Dortmund shows their low mentality. Might show their confidence. Get Dan James on for Rashford and stretch them on the counter, says Ninja Smith United. May has serious football IQ, never been a pacey player, just very clever with a wonderful left foot. Mata he's talking about, and wrongly played on the right wing for years, says Mark Whitton. Spot on. If Martial played like Rashford, he would be chastised. You're right. And here is Rashford. Just runs into a mess, really. And Marta has made so much better. Quick feet in tight situations. Has a role when teams are tiring and sitting back, says Andrew Stewart. Yeah, look, I think the substitution... I don't really think at the time, in fairness to myself, I don't really think I thought about the substitution enough. I think I just thought about who the substitution was for. I didn't feel that Greenwood should have been brought off. And I don't think anything Rashford's done in extra time shows me that Greenwood should have been brought off. I felt that we needed a goal. Pogba's driving forward. Goes to Mata. Bruno, what a save. What a save by the keeper again. Pogba's hurt himself. I think it might have been a penalty on Pogba, this. Yellow card. Has he given a penalty again? No. Don't know who he's booked. Not enough, as been said about Pogba, has won every header and has been very strong in a physical game. I think Pogba's played really well. I do. I think that the creativity problems have not really been down to him. Mata. Oh! Oh, Lindelof. And that was right on half-time, extra time. Latest member of the club is Leds Paldo. Thank you for joining, mate. Appreciate that. And Mata is not on the player rating, says Frederick. That's a shame. I'll see if we can add him in. I'll speak to my guy. But Manchester United 1-0 up. I mean, the penalty does... I must admit, look, I'm going to be absolutely honest. The penalty on Martial looks a little bit soft. But having said that, the player's never going to get the ball. And he does make an attempt to get at Martial. And I think in that situation, I've always been that sort of player. If there is contact in the box that to me is illegal and I go down, you make the referee make a decision. And the referee said a penalty. And when that goes to VAR, it's not clear and obvious that it's wrong. So there you go. Their goalkeeper is annoying, says Crunch Time. I think he deserves massive credit. And I'm glad it's not going to penalties. And I say, I've just realised, having tweeted that, I realise, having tweeted that, I could be tempting fate a little bit. But having said that, I think United are just all over them. That I don't see that happening. I think Copenhagen are done. They're dead on their feet. And you know what? This game has now become quite an enjoyable affair, hasn't it? It's become a decent game from our point of view, because we are winning and we are happy, and that is a good feeling. Jeremy Johnson says, "What a game!" I think the last 10 minutes of the game have been good. Copenhagen keeper is a spider, I'm sure of it, making some quality saves, says Lee McDermott. It'll get himself a good move. Copenhagen's goalkeeper is playing the game of his life, says Ivy. And we're about to kick off for the second half here. Let me just start the clock. 15 minutes to go for United to get into the semi-final next Sunday night. I think it's 8 o'clock kick-off. So a nice little break for us to... Well, we'll have to improve. Get to watch the game tomorrow. Johansson is an incredible goalkeeper, says James Kang. Their goalkeeper is annoying, says Crunch Time. Being honest, Mark, if you were Sancho, would this kind of performance and the limp to top four inspire any confidence to join United? Yeah, because it's a project, isn't it? Manchester United's a huge football club. Their keeper looks crazy, says Navjoth. He is a super keeper, saving almost everything from any direction. Falk's a good player for them as well. Welcome to Solomon Kuki, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Some people are saying Penchester United. Inject. We ain't bothered. We ain't bothered about that. You can vote for Mata in the player ratings. It's just taking time for them to pull it through onto the page. But there's a cross opportunity here for Copenhagen, and we must be careful, because this is where potentially they are a threat. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're nearly at 792,000 on that road to 800k. Who do you want in the semi, Mark? Wolves or Sevilla, says Buston. I'm not bothered. I just want to be there. Sevilla are a threat, and we know Wolves are a good team. So look, I'm just happy that we get there, and you know, maybe we can grow into this tournament. Because yeah, I'm not going to be that arrogant to start talking about I want this team, I want that team. Keeping aside everything, the feeling that we will win and won't lose is an absolute pleasure to have, says Nitton. To me, I predicted 2-0, and maybe it will end up being 2-0. Squeaky bum dime or uncomfortable trousers, Mark, says David Page. I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed about this. I think we'll be okay. Remember, we've hit the inside of the post a few times as well. Juan Mata should be on the player ratings, by the way. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, we'll be back. We've got all the fan cams to come. I think Ricky's going to be waxing lyrical about the Juan Mata performance. Mata's got it. Mata's done really well since he's come on, you know. Matic. Ricky will love that combination between Matic and Mata. It's what keeps me awake at night. I love him, Fleck. Oh, look at that by Martial. He's enjoying himself. Gives it to Mata. United are just enjoying keeping the ball. This just shows what we can do, though. Have you tried twerking yet for your back painters, Jade? I can't twerk. Something like that, innit? But you have to turn around. I'm better with the pelvic thrust. A little bit of Elvis. It does need it. Extra time. Don't do my back any good. 12 minutes to go. I do think Pogba's had a good game as well. Callers, Penchester United all day. We're winning and that's all we care about, says Daz McDonnell. Good run by Rashford down the left-hand side. Attack the box, Marcus. No, he sees he stops. You skin a player and then stop. Matic. Ooh, Mata. I think Rashford just looks very tired. I'd take Rashford off for Lingard. He looks like he's got a knock. Got to be a little bit careful there. I mean, I would like to see the second goal, because they will just throw caution to the wind in the last 5. Bruno, oh, nearly threading Martial in. Ten minutes to go. Cross comes in. Harry wins it. Well done, Rashford. Give him a pass. That's it. See if in doubt, boot it out. That'll do, Harry. Oh, it stayed in. It's gone out. I can't understand people who think Bailly is better than Lindelof. Bailly is the same as Jones, more dangerous to the ball than the opposition, says Mr. Glenn Johnson. Hi, Mark. Greetings from India. I guess time for Lingard for Rashi, says Solomon. I would. I would. Of course, one of the interesting things is that you do start to worry about what this does for next season at some point. It's a foul on Brandon. I'm interested to do the play ratings on the match reaction, actually. Interested to see what you've all voted for. Get on the link in the video description and then make sure you watch the match reaction. Hey! I'm like the Fonz. Hey! Rashford comes off for Lingard. Rashford, whatever you think of his performance, he looks absolutely exhausted tonight. Looks frustrated as well. But Lingard just coming on to give us a bit of energy. Good substitution, that. Thanks for the contribution, Richard Love. I can't believe a United sub has actually worked and made us better. Well done, Ollie, says Edatron. Have Copenhagen got anything in them? 7 minutes. We're starting to sit deep. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't feel that there's a need to do this. I think we've been carving them open and we should try and get the second goal. Forget Sancho. I want Christian Falk's brother. He's class, says Nazar Haroon. He's a good player, Falk. I don't know whether he's ever played at a better level than this, but he's a good player. Is his first name Rasmus? Is that am I thinking about the right player? Rasmus, I think his first name is. Park the bus, says Cosmos. I don't think park the bus. I think hit them on the break and get the second goal personally, but you know, I think I hate it when this happens and you're basically going to be home and hosed and you sit back. 5 minutes of doing that, I don't fancy it. They're just going to start angling some diagonal balls into the box at some point. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, or if you haven't subscribed. Copenhagen switching the ball out to the left. It's a chance, they've been waiting to whip it in. It's a high cross. It's a too high a cross. Pogba pulling the strings, goes unnoticed, says Fizzy. I've said this, Fizzy, I think that Pogba's played well tonight. Can you call Harry Brocky a prat, says AGA Pay. And Inter will win the Europa League, says 20 tag. I've seen Dortmund's Twitter and I've replied to it on my Twitter. Kill the game, says Mustafa. Counter-attack with what? Mata and Lingard, says Wilmer. I suppose that is a good point. Well made. I just don't... Good tackle by Lindelof there. I just don't like the fact that we're inviting the pressure here. I think we've... the last 10 minutes of the actual game and the first 20 minutes of extra time, we look like we're going to score all the time. And then in the last 10 minutes of this game, we're just inviting pressure, and I don't see why. You're just almost like saying, have a chance, have a chance, have a chance, when we could play a higher line. They've got no pace. Play a higher line and keep hold of the ball. Now everybody out. It's gone for a throw-in. I don't think... I mean, look, it'd be interesting to see the player ratings, because I think there are certain players that didn't have a good game. I'll keep it back for the match reaction, but there are some players that, unfortunately, you worry about them in a bigger game, especially defensively. If somebody's got a decent right winger, I think we're in trouble. We really do miss Luke Shaw. But 3 minutes, never say never, but we should be there. Man of the match is going to be interesting as well. Oh, Brandon again. Totally misses the tackle. That's going to be a foul as well. Matic missing tackles at this time of the game. So this is a chance for Copenhagen to put a decent cross in. Squeaky bum time. Edge of the box. Go, 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 Jesse. Go. Go, Jesse. Go, Jesse. All the way through. No, he ain't got the legs. Unlucky. It's exactly what you want to happen at that stage of the game. You sub with his running, but he just couldn't find his way through. But get back into position now. See out the game. A minute of normal extra time to go. Lingard came on for Rashford Wyatt. But Copenhagen put the cross in. Good block, Wan-Bissaka. I'd say United players, a lot of those players out there will be tired. Is this game important? Well, it puts us into the Europa League semi-final on Sunday. Wolves, Sevilla tomorrow night. I'll do a watch along on That's Football for that. If we're there, we're not quite there. 20 seconds to go. Won't be loads of added time. United doing well here to stop the cross coming in. Good battling, Wan-Bissaka. Clears the ball as well. That's exactly why I said Dan James for Rashford, says Ninja Smurf United. Yeah, I mean, look, he could have gone with Dan James, couldn't he? He could have brought Dan James on for Lingard, but it just, again, I think it's a trust thing, isn't it? McTominay coming on now. For Martial. There's only a minute. Adama Traore against Brandon Williams would be a problem. Yeah. That is a very good point. I hadn't even thought of that. Martial's gone off. McTominay. Why does McTominay wear a bandage on his arm? He's got a tattoo. Or is it a statement of something? I thought Fred played well, but he came off so early in the game. I don't know how you could give him man of the match. But look, the player ratings are in the link in the video description, and we will be going through those in the match reaction. The main thing is Manchester United are virtually there. This should be the last kick of the game. Refs not blown yet. Matic, Pogba, just use the ball now. Lingard, look for a pass. It's not blown yet. Brandon's young lad and just overly keen to impress, says Russell Thompson. I just think he's more of a right back than a left back. We're hardly defending for our lives, really. Somebody just said we're defending for our lives. We're not really defending for our lives. Lindelof has done well since he's come on, and I think Lindelof's shown why many people prefer him over Eric Bailly. I know a lot of people want Eric Bailly to be the real deal, but good header away by Brandon there. Ref still not blown his whistle. All eyes on you, ref. And that's it. Manchester United into the semi-finals of the Europa League. Bruno Fernandes has got some cramp. 120 minutes to do it. Respectable from Copenhagen. I think they would be very, very happy with that result in a disappointed way. 1-0. Their keeper played well. United at the post a few times. We didn't fire on all cylinders. I think we can all accept that. But get in the link in the video description to do your player ratings. And then the top link in the video description is my match reaction. Lots to talk about that. I think lots to talk about. I wouldn't put as favourites for this tournament at all. I know some people did. Lots to work on from Manchester United. But a very, very good result. And look, for me, I predicted 2-0. I'd never thought and never disrespected Copenhagen. I thought it would be a difficult game, and it proved to be that. We looked a bit rusty, but we got the results. Copenhagen were a well-organised side, and we get through. I'll see you on the match reaction in about 60 seconds. We'll go through the player ratings as well. As I said, I'm going to go in on a couple of players who I thought were way below par, but some players stepped up to the plate and did really well. Also, we'll be talking about the latest about Sancho as well. Link in the video description. I'll see you over there in about 60 seconds, and you can do your player ratings as well. Speak to you in a minute.